complete the starting defensive unit for the Bengals of Buffalo State. Defensive end number 42, Trey Pitts. Interior defensive lineman number 53, Jason Taylor. And number 98, D-Mac Kilgo. And defensive end number 45, Anthony Guazio. Outside linebacker number 40, Frankie Hill. And inside linebacker number 33, Mike Dreyer. And then outside linebacker number 6, Taylor Williams. At safety, number 1, Gino Barnett. And number 28, Mike Payne. The quarterbacks are Devon Tucker. And number 2, Gary Wesley. The Bengals are coached by Christian Bosley. The officials for this afternoon's game: referees Dave Fender, the umpire Justin Heenan, and linesman Michael Hickory. The line judge Brad Clancy. The side judge is Dan Messina. Field judge Vicky Reller. And back judge Michael Peters.
That's another one. That's if you take that down, that goes to yeah. You said yeah. Yeah, it's kind of. Well, then I have a lot. Well, then you put it on. Yeah. Every time. All the time trying to get out of there. I hate it. What about that you can provide is better. Yeah. yeah, so I don't know, like maybe he does it. Yeah. Which I think he didn't. Probably didn't. Yeah.
Small explosion scares everybody.
Really? I like the West. And they're part of my stuff.
I mean, if you talk to him, he might sound like it.
Oh,
It's kind of hard to understand, so maybe they just. Wait, yeah, he'll be out there when.
Fancier than we are. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. It was like a random thing. I think, well, but I've heard that he's had the last
We direct your attention to the north end zone. And let's meet the starting offense for the Engineers of RPI. At left tackle, number 68, Luke Caution. At left guard is number 70, Rick Benbasky. The starting center for the Engineers, number 51, Thomas Allison. And then guard number 64, Jacob Grant. Slot receivers, number 10, Mark Marshall. Number 3, Mike Cole. Wide receivers, number 13, Nick Smith. Number 2, Vinny McDowell. Number 36, Joe Staglino. And that quarterback from Everly George, Matt Atkins. now prepare the national anthem.
Started with the first quarter of action. We like to remind you are listening to 91.5 FM WRPI Troy, coverage of Engineer football. Ed DeGarren on with Kurt Stark here from the East Campus Athletic Stadium on the campus of RPI. And we'd like to thank the rest of the union which provides funding for WRPI and all club-related activities of the Institute, including WRPI's coverage of RPI men's and women's ice hockey, football, and later on in the season, baseball. We'd also like to remind you that WRPI is on the World Wide Web. Plug your browser to www.wrpi.org. And you can hear our broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so long as we are putting something on the air. It will be on the internet. Once again, that is www.wrpi.org. Teams taking the field now. RPI will be kicking off to Buffalo State. And right now, RPI just has to play their game. They have, nothing to play for as far as NCAA is concerned, but they still want to end the season going into the last couple of games here on a positive note.
3 games remaining for RPI this season here at Buffalo State. Next week Ithaca, and then on the road at Union. Big game going on starting right about now. Union versus Ithaca for the Liberty League title. We'll keep you updated on what's going on there. Christian's out to kick it off for RPI, and he will boot the ball away. Taken by Buff State at about the 9-yard line, 10, 15, to the 20. And escaping one tackle, 25, sideline 30, and then finally taken down. That is Jackson on the return. Naz Jackson on the return for Buffalo State. And the Bengals will start out near their own 30-yard line today. Just underway here at East Campus Stadium, no score.
Yeah, a nice tackle there on special teams, too. Jackson running out of an arm tackle for RPI, and then the RPI tackler coming up and taking out the legs and tripping them up and starting, and all sorts of new rules in football, new ways of tackling and stuff, and teams have to adjust to that. It's been put in place for a couple of years now, but that was a nice tackle.
Zach Chesky will lead his team out there to start. 1st and 10 for Buffalo State at their own 30-yard line. 31, pardon me. Oh, I'm all wrong today. They're out to the 34-yard line on that run.
Yeah, and right up the middle, and RPI all over it. Minimal game for Buffalo State, but second down coming up.
That was Bailey on the run, starting running back for Buffalo State. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Bengals at the 34-yard line. RPI in their home red with difficult-to-read numbers. Buffalo State in white and dark blue. Very easy to read. Pitch goes to Bailey. Bailey's going to throw. That's a reception in the RPI territory to the 35-yard line, and Everett is tackled there. So it was the handoff to Bailey. Bailey throws down to Everett, and Buffalo State's at the RPI 34.
Yeah, that's the simple, I used to coach Top 1 football. That's just simple basics. Don't look in the backfield and read the pitch, and RPI bit on the fake, and Everett was wide open down the sidelines for a first down.
1st and 10, Buffalo State at the 34 of RPI. No score, 13:55 to go here, quarter number 1 in Troy. It is sunny, windy, low 50s I call it. It was high 40s when I left the house about 2 hours ago. Bailey gets the handoff on 1st down, goes left.
not over pursuing and reading Bailey when he turned it outside to keep Buffalo State to a 1-yard gain.
That was Sadak on the tackle for RPI on that play. I mentioned RPI's got the all-red uniforms with black numbers outlined in white. Not the easiest to read out there. 2nd down and 9 at the 33 for Buffalo State. This will be pass completion in the flat to the 30, down to about the 26-yard line. Joe Stewart on the reception for Buffalo State.
Yeah, Stewart was open. He had a nice screen in front of him by his offensive lineman, and he was able to get a little bit. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 1 for Buffalo State, but RPI defense doing a good job. Besides for that one play to Everett where it was wide open, but RPI defense has to tighten up a little bit, but for the most part, they're bending, not breaking so far.
Looks like Chesky has Ray and Bailey in the backfield on this 3rd and 1. Fakes the handoff to Bailey, keeps it himself. He should have plenty of room, and he's going to get the 1st down. I thought he had more room than he did. He does get to the 23-yard line. That'll be a 1st down for Buffalo State.
Well, it looked like there was actually confusion there among Chesky and Bailey. It looked like Chesky wanted to hand it off, but Bailey didn't want to take it. And so finally Bailey saw, hey, there's a guy coming in to tackle you. I'll block him. You run. And that's exactly what Chesky did. He got the 1st down and, presumably broken play, and worked out for the best for Buffalo State.
1st and 10 Buffalo State at the RPI 23. 12-10 to go 1st quarter. No score. 4 wideout formation. Bailey in the backfield for the Bengals. Chesky will look over to the sideline as they're down to 6 seconds on the play clock. They have to get set. They do. 2 seconds. Now they'll snap the ball. Chesky looks downfield. Now he's going to toss the ball away. That was actually a lateral to Prawl near the RPI sideline. Goes incomplete and out of bounds.
Yeah, and Chesky's lucky it went out of bounds because there was nothing but green in front of RPI if they happened to recover, but the ball went out of bounds and, very clearly lateral. But it almost looked like he was in front of the line of scrimmage, too, when he
it may not
have back. So.
May not have been a lateral. It may actually have been forward. It was close. So they're going to mark it as an incomplete pass. 2nd and 10 at the 23. Bailey takes the handoff, goes left, tries to cut inside, can't find anything, and then he's smothered under at the 22.
Well, right now RPI is keying on Bailey, and you heard Coach Iseria mention it in the interview with Perry that Bailey is their stud running back, and so far he's been living up to expectations, but RPI has been up to the task.
3rd and 9 at the 22 for Buffalo State. They're going with the wind if they don't make it here, if they look to kick a field goal or try a field goal. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Bailey in the backfield. Chesky has some time, rolls out to his right. Now he's going to start running with the ball. He's going to throw the ball, and that is complete to the 4-yard line. Stewart's got it at the 4, but is he beyond the line of scrimmage is the question.
Yes, there is a flag down on the far side of the field. I thought he was beyond the line of scrimmage.
Looking at the replay right now, he's at the 30, he's at the 25, and he is beyond the line of scrimmage.
He was way beyond the line of scrimmage there when he threw that pass, so this is going to come back.
So it's a Dave Hergert, the referee, signaling that it's an illegal forward pass, so you lose 5 yards and the down.
Yeah, so it brings up 4th down and about 12 now for Buffalo State.
Bengals are keeping the offense out there. So they're not going to try would be a 43-yard field goal attempt at this point. They're not going to try that. They're going to, on 4th and 12, have 5 wideouts for Chesky. Chesky throws, looking over the middle. That's incomplete. Buffalo State wants a flag. They're not going to get one, and the Bengals turn it over on downs. We have 10:41 to go here, first quarter. No score between RPI and Buffalo State.
Yeah, and I think that's a good, I hate the phrase good non-call by the official, but in this case, it warrants it as the receiver was still within the 5 yards allowance. So when he broke through the linebacker. So good job by the Engineers. Good awareness, too, knowing where they are on the field and to break that play up. So RPI will take over on downs.
RPI 1st and 10 at their own 26. First possession of the game for the Engineers. Coming off a loss against St. Lawrence, and the 2 weeks before that, loss against Hobart, where they trailed badly in the fourth quarter. Did put up some points, but still ended up on the losing side. First down for RPI. Scaglione takes it, goes up the middle, cuts to a little bit to his left, and makes it out to the 32-yard line.
Yeah, Scaglione found a little hole, and he goes through it for a gain of about 6 yards. And so a good job by the Engineers' offensive line creating the hole, and Scaglione finding it.
Nice play on the prey. You were there. There was some
Engineers 2 wide out to the left, 1 to the right, tight end on the right. Scaglione in the backfield next to Marinopoulos. Now the wide out on the left is going to shift to the right. They fake the handoff to Scaglione. Pass, that is complete to Michelin. Michelin's got it to the 40, and he's put down at the 42, but that'll be a first down for RPI.
Yeah, nice job by Michelin, and I know the scout team for Buffalo State is over to my right saying, hey, where's the flag when it was pass behind the line of scrimmage, so you're still allowed to do some blocking. So a good job by the Engineers for formulating that play.
1st and 10, RPI at their own 42. No score, 9:50 to go here, first quarter. Michelin goes into the backfield. They fake the handoff to him. Marinopoulos looking to throw under pressure, gets rid of it, and that'll be Lombardi out to the 50, to the Buffalo State, almost the 48. It looks like he might be just, well, the headlines was going to put him right at the marker, and this will be a first down for RPI.
Yeah, and it almost looked like Lombardi had to adjust, like he was running his route, and then he saw Marinopoulos in trouble, so he cut his route a little bit short, and he just got the first down right at the sticks.
1st and 10 RPI to Buffalo State, 48 on the ground. Lombardi takes the handoff, breaks a couple of tackles. He's to the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Lombardi's in for the touchdown.
Yeah, Lombardi was stopped dead at, for about a gain of 2 yards, and poor tackling from Buffalo State. I mentioned the tackling earlier, and that was not a clinic on how to make a tackle by the Buffalo State Bengals. But a good job, too, by Lombardi getting out of those tackles, realizing, hey, you can't get me down. 9:13 left to play in the first quarter. 6-0 RPI.
Engineers with a lead. It's been a while since they have had one. Snap spot. The kick is up by Christian for the extra point, and the kick is good. 9:13 to go, first quarter. RPI 7, Buffalo State nothing.
Yeah, that was a good play calling there by the coaches for RPI. So good offensive series, and let's hand it to the RPI defense too. They bent but didn't break. They got a little bit lucky there with the loss of down penalty. Then they came back on 4th down and really stopped Buffalo State and put their offense on the field. So the RPI defense has to do it again after the kickoff here from the special teams. But RPI getting off to a good start.
I should make a correction. The Union Ithaca game starts at 1 o'clock today. So we will not be providing updates on that game until it actually starts.
Well, right now the score is 0-0. So.
Yes. We're confident that the score is 0-0. And again, just tuning in, the Union Ithaca game is the championship of the Liberty League. Winner goes to the NCAAs. So that will be determined with still 2 weeks left in the season. Christian boots the ball. Crawl takes it inside the 5-yard line to the 10, 15, 20. Hits a bunch of players, and he's down at the 22.
And a good job by the Engineers tacklers collapsing the pocket for Pearl to get through, and then he just was able to go nowhere after the initial reception and run. But only got the minimum amount of yards that comes with special teams, and then RPI doing a good job collapsing that and making the tackle. 9:07 left to play in the first quarter. Buffalo State has the ball on the 22-yard line, 7-0 RPI.
Chesky takes his team out for their second possession of the game. For RPI, this is the first time they have led since the Rochester game. They never led against Hobart, never led against St. Lawrence. First lead since they defeated Rochester. First down, fumble, and looks like it's Buffalo State that recovered. Everett got the pass. He fumbled it around the 22, and Bailey covered it.
Yeah, a good thing for Everett Bailey was there because It was Bailey and about 4 engineers, and Bailey came up with the ball.
Bengals are very fortunate not have turned the ball over inside the 25. Second and 8, gain of 2 on that play. They're out to the 24 of Buffalo State. 2nd and 8, and that pass, that is completed to Everett, and he is out right around the 30.
So Everett with the completion, doing a good job getting out of bounds. So it brings up a 3rd and 1 here for Buffalo State.
Giusola on the tackle for RPI. They'll be out to the 31, so it'll be 3rd and 1, Buffalo State. They are making some substitutions. Third and 1, wideouts each side. They got a tight end on the left along with the slot back. This is a direct snap to Bailey. Bailey's going to get the first down easy. 35 to the 40. Bailey goes to the sideline, breaks tackle. 45, and now he's out at the 47 of Buffalo State, and that's a first down for the Bengals.
Yeah, good job on the direct snap right to Bailey, and Bailey just immediately taking it around the outside and runs out of bounds by someone. No chance of us seeing the numbers for RPI on that side of the field. So
these are tough numbers to read. The red uniforms with the white numbers, or the black numbers and white outlines, are tough to read on the other side of the field, especially when the sun is out. And it just makes it worse, it seems. 1st and 10 for Buffalo State at the 47. 7:35, and did somebody move?
Yes, this 27, 87, sorry.
87. Stewart moved. So Buffalo State will be backing up 5 yards. Hobart has a 7-0 lead on St. Lawrence halfway through the first quarter. Update you on that. First and 15, Buffalo State, as they are back to their own 42. And Bailey again takes a direct snap. He's going to cut left, gets hit at the line of scrimmage, and now forced out 1 yard beyond the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he was stopped in the backfield, but he just bounced off the tackle. But I think it was Sadak over there for RPI running him out of bounds, so 2nd down. Still stopped in the backfield, but it could have been a larger loss than it was.
Okay, we don't see Chesky on the field at this point. Bailey is taking direct snaps. And Bailey is going to throw. He's going to put one up along the sideline. Stewart has it. He's to the 25, to the 20, and he's going to be in for the touchdown. So Buffalo State strikes back. That is Bailey to Stewart. That's a 58-yard pass completion, and Buffalo State pulls to within 1.
Yeah, and that was actually a really nice pass by Bailey to Stewart. Caught him right in stride, and Stewart did the rest. But not bad coverage either by the Engineers' backfield. Just Stewart got a step and got open, and for the touchdown.
Carr out to try the kick. It is up, and it is good. So with 6:37 to go here, first quarter, tied at 7.
So Buffalo State striking back quickly, tying this game up at 7. A nice picture-perfect pass from Bailey to Stewart. Stewart caught it right in the breadbasket, right in stride, had a step on the back. He didn't get that step until the ball started coming down. That, the pass helped. So not bad coverage by the Engineers, just a really nice pass by Bailey. And Stewart was able to do the rest. He was atoning for that false start he had 2 plays earlier to tie this game up at 7.
Well, at this point, it can't be a surprise that Bailey may throw because they had already done that. So the fact that Bailey is taking direct snaps back there, if you're RPI, I realize he's probably almost certainly more mobile than Chesky. That's why you have him back there taking direct snaps when you want to. But he can throw, and you almost have to treat him as a fast quarterback. You can't think, oh, it's a direct snap to Bailey, this is a run. Clearly, he's willing to throw and doesn't have a problem doing that.
I don't think Chesky was even on the field that way.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. short kickoff by Buffalo State, and RPI signaled a fair catch and will take it at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, signaled fair catch. It was a short kick by Buffalo State, and it was taken by one of the men for RPI.
That was Merrick Spruill, not Carr, who did the extra point. That was Spruill who did the kickoff.
So RPI will start 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line, and we'll see how they respond.
Tied at 7 here, quarter number 1. 1st and 10, RPI at their own 30. Engineers have Smith in motion. Now he'll run back to the near side. We have a handoff on 1st down. Burnett's in there at running back. Finds some room. He's out to the 40, to the 45. Now gets hit, and he's easily got a 1st down. He's up to the RPI 48-yard line.
Yeah, the Engineers' offensive line doing a really good job up front and creating holes for their running backs. So we saw the run by Lombardi was the long run, and then that run was about 20 yards.
That line is Luke Koschel, Rick Demboski, Thomas O'Lawson, Jacob Grant, and Sean Gibbons. That is the line left to right for RPI on offense. 1st and 10 at the 48, tied at 7 here. This is not going to get very far as Rosillo comes in and makes the tackle on Burnett at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it was a very slow developing play too. Marinopolis was slow for the handoff, slow to give the handoff to Burnett, and resulting in no gain. So 2nd and 10 for RPI.
Starting slot receivers are Mark Meislin and Malik Kelly for RPI. The wide receivers are Nick Smith and Vinny McDonald. The tailback Joe Scaglione and quarterback George Marinopoulos. 2nd and 10, RPI at their own 48. Marinopoulos looking to throw, gets hit, gets away from that. We got a flag coming out. Marinopoulos is tripped up behind the line of scrimmage, so there are things that they are going to have to sort out here.
Yeah. So we'll see what the flag was. And the referee picked it up and moved the flag back about 3 yards. So that could make a difference if it's a holding call. So it's a block below the legs against RPI.
Waist,
sorry.
Block below the legs. How is that happening?
I wanted to say knees, but, you know. So by the official moving the flag back about 3 yards, it's a spot foul for a block below the waist. So 10-yard penalty.
Ball's back at the 33 of RPI for a 2nd and 25. 4 wide receivers for Marinopoulos. Dishes it off short and almost gets it's deflected back to Marinopoulos. He almost received his own pass, but I think he wisely knocked it away and made it an incomplete pass.
Yeah, because there was about 4 Buffalo State Bengals right in the backfield, and his pass got deflected, and Marinopoulos was like, wait, I can catch this. But then he thought better of it and just knocked it to the ground, as he would have went nowhere regardless. So smart move by Marinopoulos, just making an incomplete pass and saving the yardage for RPI.
3rd down and 25 for the Engineers at their own 33. And Lombardi goes in motion, takes a handoff, goes right, tries to turn the corner. He gets to the 40, and he stutter steps, and at that point he's done. And we've got a personal foul against Buffalo State, which is going to keep RPI on the field with a 1st down.
Not a smart move by Buffalo State, as Lombardi was already out of bounds. He was wrapped up. Lombardi was wrapped up. So at that point, he goes out of bounds. The tackler should just let him alone, leave him alone. That was not a late hit. The momentum took him out of bounds. But the problem was, it was almost like a WWE-style suplex on the sidelines, and that's what drew the foul, not the hit, because he was already wrapped up as he was going out of bounds. It was the takedown afterwards.
I'm nodding my head with what he said about the whatever it's called. I don't know what that is.
WWE-style suplex.
I don't know what that is.
Just go with it.
Okay. I trust you. So the personal foul against Buffalo State means instead of a 4th and about 12, it will be a 1st down for RPI at the Buffalo State 43-yard line. That was Jaquan Wilson on that personal foul, and that's a poor decision right there. He was well out of bounds, You wrap him up, that's fine. Let him go at that point. You don't throw the player to the ground. So it was a poor penalty to take for Buffalo State. Tied at 7 here, 4:45 to go in the first quarter. Burnett on the handoff, and he'll be stopped right away by DeMac Kilgo. Grabs him and stops him behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, right now it looks like Buffalo State is changing up the defense a little bit with stunts and blitzing linebackers up the middle, and so RPI's got to be well aware of that, make their adjustments, and go from there.
2nd and 11 back at the 44. And RPI snapped the ball, and nobody was ready for that. I don't know if this is a design play or not. This will be a pass incomplete, looking for Smith along the sidelines. Was that intended?
If it was, then it was. Buffalo State didn't move. RPI didn't move. I don't think it was intended. I think it was supposed to be a silent count on sort of like the move of the hands, and I think Marinopoulos moved his hands, and the center thought, hey, let's go.
So it goes incomplete on 2nd down. RPI's got 5 wideouts there on 3rd down. Ball's at the 44. They need 11 yards for a 1st down. Burnett moves in behind the line. RPI's got a set. They got 5 seconds left on the play clock. Marinopoulos looks right. Pass completed at the 40-yard line. Bad tackle, but now coming in for the 2nd tackle is going to be Bonagura, and he's going to wrap up the receiver at the 40 and prevent any chance for a 1st down.
Yeah, a nice job by Bonagura to prevent the 1st down, so brings up a 4th down and about 7 for RPI, and it looks like the punt team coming out.
That was Michelin on the reception. The defense, Trey Pitts, Jason Taylor, DeMac Kilgo, and Anthony Wasillo up front for Buffalo State. The linebackers, Peyton Hill, Devin Delmont, and Tahil Williams. The safeties are Gino Bonagura and Nakai Payne, and Elohim Tucker and Darren Wesley are the cornerbacks for Buffalo State. So 4th and 7 at the 40. RPI sends out the punt team, and they are going to take a delay of game.
Good decision by RPI. Get the 5-yard penalty and move it back 5 yards as a little bit bigger cushion. I mean, I'd still kick to the sideline anyway instead of in the middle of the field. But
So Moncrief is out there to punt for RPI. Everett is back at his own 10 for Buffalo State. Snap. The kick is away. High kick. Everett's going to signal a fair catch, and he'll take it. And I think we're going to get interference with the opportunity to catch the ball against RPI. That may be Carlos Davis taking a penalty here.
Yeah, this is going to be the fair catch interference. Even though Davis didn't touch him, he was still within the 2-yard cushion. They give the receiver to fair catch it. So not a smart penalty by RPI either. They saw the fair catch. At that point, you just let him catch it. Or if he makes a mistake, pounce on the ball. But you got to give him the room to catch it.
That's 15 yards. The ball brings the ball out to the 25-yard line. Ralph Izernia on the field doesn't like the call.
I thought it was a good call, but that's me.
You're entitled to that.
Thank you.
3:12 to go here. First quarter, tied at 7. RPI Buff State. Buff State has the ball on their own 25-yard line, 1st and 10. 4 wideouts, and Chesky is back in the game. Dishes it off behind the line of scrimmage, and out of bounds at the 33 is McKinney.
Yeah, it looks like those quick outs, those screens, those flat, and those jet sweep passes are working for Buffalo State. RPI is blitzing the linebacker, and they almost got a hand on it that time, but not quite. So if I was Buffalo State, I'd stick with what's working. RPI seems to be keying on Bailey, and the passes for Buffalo State seem to be working. So I would stick to throwing the ball until RPI shows you they can adjust.
The people running the chain crew, somehow there was a mistake on that far sideline, and they moved the chain, so they had to reset the chains. We've been in a slightly extended between plays here as they had to take a few seconds to do that. It's 2nd down and 2 for Buffalo State at the 33-yard line. And a direct snap to Bailey, and he's going to get stopped after a gain of 1.
Yeah,
That was Josh Cohen on the tackle for RPI.
Yeah, and Cohen doing a good job with Bailey stopping him just short of the first down. So RPI's defense right now, they have to close up and prevent a 1-yard gain for Buffalo State and get this into a 4th down situation.
3rd down and 1 for the Bengals. And again, no Chesky. You've got Bailey in the backfield. Bailey takes the snap, and I think he's going to get the first down. Yeah, he dragged a couple of tacklers with him out to the 36, and that'll be a first down.
Yeah, he was stopped before the chains. He would have been stopped short, but a good effort by Bailey dragging some tacklers forward over the line to get the first down. So 1st and 10 on a great individual effort by Bailey for Buffalo State.
Buffalo State offense, Zach Chesky's the quarterback, Martin Bailey the running back, Derek Johnson the fullback. The wide receivers are DeJohn Stone, Praise Prawl, and Jordan Everett. 1st and 10, Buffalo State at the 36. Pass, that is completed to the 40, and getting some room, and now getting knocked down at the 41 was Prawl. He had some room, and I didn't catch who came in and just hit him and took him out.
Yeah, well, I think it was a matter of nobody came in. I think he just ran into somebody and stopped dead. He was trying to, instead of just going forward, where he definitely would have had a first down, he tried to cut it back inside, get some more yardage, and he just ran into one of his own players or one of the RPI players and just stopped short. So it could have been a big gain, only turned into a gain of 6.
Under a minute to go here in the first quarter, tied at 7. As Buffalo State has it now for a 2nd down play, and they'll switch it up. McKinney in the backfield takes it out to the 43, and that'll set up a 3rd down and 3 for Buffalo State.
Yeah, McKinney just right up the middle again, and RPI there to stop him. So again, RPI has Buffalo State in a 3rd and short situation, and they're yet to stop them on 3rd down.
Buffalo State offensive line, Kyle Schrader, Jake Van Wickhouse, Henry Palermo, John Stakowski, and Trey Smith. That is the line for Buffalo State. 3rd down and 3 for the Bengals at the 43-yard line, and somebody moved for Buffalo State, and there's a flag on the play.
So 5-yard penalty after the motion. They called that on Praise Prawl, number 6 for Buffalo State, so 5-yard penalty. So 3rd and 8 now for Buffalo State.
And that's the end of the first quarter here in Troy. 15 minutes are in the books, and we are tied at 7.
And a good first series for RPI, defensively and offensively. Had a long run to score the touchdown to take the lead, then Buffalo State came right back on a picture-perfect pass by Bailey to Stewart to tie this game up at 7. That's where we stand right now. So Buffalo State, we come back. They have a 3rd and 8 after the false start penalty by Prawl. So RPI needs to stop them right now and get this into a 4th and long for Buffalo State to get their offense back on the field. They have been moving. Both teams have been moving the ball. Buffalo State more with their passes, RPI more with the run. So a different offensive style for both teams. Some team has to get a stop. RPI had one, their first defensive series. They were able to get a stop. Buffalo State scored on their 2nd offensive possession, and this is their 3rd offensive possession right now.
They have switched sides. It's Buffalo State going right to left, RPI left to right across your radio dial in quarter number 2. Tied at 7. Start of the second quarter. 3rd down and 8 for Buffalo State, and we've got another flag. Somebody moved.
I don't know if they're going to call this on RPI or Buffalo State, because the RPI defensive lineman moved first, and then the Buffalo State lineman reacted to that. So we'll see what they call this. It's either going to be encroachment or a false start. And they are going to call encroachment against RPI. So 3rd and 3 now for Buffalo State again. So it looked like it was he baited him to move. I think he got back, but the fact that he crossed the line causing the offensive lineman to move is what they called. So 3rd and 3.
3rd and 3 for Buffalo State. 3 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left. Chesky throws, and where did the ball go? It's McKinney, the intended receiver. I don't know if it was still live when it went off him towards the sidelines, but however you slice it, nobody caught it, and it's incomplete.
Well, it did go off him. It went off his hands, and they thought it was a fumble, but the referee was right there calling it incomplete anyway. So,
well, I didn't think it was a fumble. I didn't know if it touched the ground. So if it goes off him.
Yeah, no, it hit the ground because
okay.
the near side official called it incomplete before anything happened.
So incomplete on 3rd down. It'll be 4th and 3 for Buffalo State. And Zajac will come out to punt for the Bengals. Kicks it away. Fair catch called by Lombardi. It hits him. It hits Lombardi, and that's a live ball, and it's recovered by Buffalo State.
I don't know what Lombardi was thinking there.
I'm pretty sure it hit Lombardi.
No, it definitely did. It definitely did.
Yeah, so it hit Lombardi. It goes to one of the Buffalo State players, but I don't think you can advance that.
No, because he called for the fair catch.
Okay, it can't be advanced, but it is Buffalo State's ball.
Yes. If he did not call for the fair catch, you can advance it, I believe. But I don't know what Lombardi was thinking there. He called for the fair catch. He knew he wasn't going to catch it. Get away from it. Don't try to catch it at that point. I mean, a punt is a dead ball. It's not like if it goes 10 yards, it's live. So Lombardi called for the fair catch. Get away from it if you know you're not going to catch it. Not a smart play by Lombardi at all.
So 14:46 to go in the first half, and RPI, that's a mistake, and Buffalo State has at the RPI 24-yard line. Chesky under a lot of trouble, has to dish it off. He was just getting rid of that in the area of Stone. Isernia wants intentional grounding, Coach Isernia, but he's not going to get it.
Well, he wanted grounding, and I think Buffalo State got away with a hold on the other side of the field, too. So the quarterback definitely out of the pocket, getting back to the line of scrimmage just barely.
And there was a receiver in the area, which is what the referee just announced, which is true. I mean, the pass was kind of towards him. It was just short. 5 wideouts for Chesky on 2nd and 10 at the 24. But it's a pass completion inside the 10, and Stewart has it at the 5, or Everett, pardon me, has it at the 5, and that'll be a first down and goal for Buffalo State.
The RPI has to shore up that pass defense. Otherwise, this is going to be another long game for them. So Buffalo State on the verge of taking the lead right now. We are still tied at 7. With 14:20 left to play in the first, but Buffalo State threatening 1st and goal from the 5-yard line.
And they are back to having Bailey take the snap. Chesky is over on the sidelines. Single wideouts each side. You got a man in the slot on the left and a tight end on the left. Robinson is in the backfield along with Bailey. Bailey's going to run, tries to go behind Robinson, can't, cuts to the right, and Bailey's in for the touchdown.
Yeah, a nice adjustment by Bailey as well. Went up the middle, tried to have someone came up the middle for RPI, tried to tackle him. It was a linebacker, and Bailey just quickly adjusted to his right, and he went in for the touchdown, so makes the score Buffalo State 13, RPI 7 with a pending extra point.
Carr out to try the extra point. Wind is actually going with him at this point, and that is up and good. 14-7, Buffalo State leads with 13:56 to go in the first half.
So now RPI has to play from behind again, as they've been used to this for the past couple of games.
And that's not a place you want to be.
No. And especially with a team like Buffalo State coming in 1-6 overall, they now have all the momentum. And RPI, nothing to play for as far as NCAA is concerned. So, if you're a Coach Isernia right now, you just got to be like, yeah, we're behind, but it's only 7 points to a team that's 1-6. And they've been moving the ball. It's not like they haven't been moving the ball. So right now, Coach Isernia just has to pep this team up and say, hey, guys, don't get down on yourself. It's still early in the game. We're only down by 7 points. And we have a lot to play for. So.
For Buffalo State, they have been Ed said they're 1-6. Their closest loss was against Utica by 11 points. They have a lot of multi-score losses in today. Well, everything's a multi-score loss, but 3 or more scores in 4 of their 6 losses. High kick taken by a fair catch at the 36-yard line by RPI.
Yeah, and that's 2 kicks in a row now for Buffalo State that have been almost squares, almost like onside. It looks like they've only gone about 15 yards. So if I was RPI, I'd put your receivers maybe up short and put some of the guys that are in the second line back just to guard against that. But anyway, 1st and 10 RPI from their own 30-yard line.
Engineers trailing by 7 in the second quarter. 3 receivers to the right. Marinopoulos throws over the middle. That is complete to the 45, to the 50, and into Buffalo State territory is Avery. He's down at the 47.
Yeah, nice pattern by Avery too. Quick little 5-yard slant, 5-yard cut in, and he was wide open, and he had a good run after catch by Avery to make it a 1st down, so into Buffalo State territory.
1st and 10 RPI to Buffalo State 47, 13 and a half to go 1st half. RPI trails here, 14-7, Buffalo State is on top. Marinopoulos is going to hand off to Munoz Watts. He's got room on the left, gets upended inside the 40, but he does pick up 9 before he ultimately hits the ground.
Yeah, Munoz Watts gets upended. So he did almost like a front flip over the line. So 2nd and 1 for RPI. RPI, they gotta watch it. They give you leniency on the line, but it looks like they're bowing back a little bit. They gotta watch, make sure they don't get too many men in the backfield.
RPI, this is a broken play. Where did the ball go? Marinopoulos was trying to hand off to Munoz Watts, and then everybody on defense showed up. Wazio was the first person there, and Marinopoulos goes down, maintains possession of the ball at the 44, but that play had nothing going right for RPI.
Yeah, and RPI right now has to get on the same page. It looks like Marinopoulos is not on the same page with his bats. So, have to regroup.
3rd down and 7, ball at the Buffalo State 44. Munoz Watts is in the backfield for RPI. 4 wide receivers for Marinopoulos. Marinopoulos looking left, looking right, gets hit and taken down at the 48. Never had a chance there. Zimmerman comes in and sacks him, and RPI's got 4th and long.
Yeah, and Buffalo State's doing a really good job adjusting their defense. RPI offensive line was controlling the line of scrimmage, but now Buffalo State is blitzing and stunting and doing all these fancy things on defense, and RPI can't handle them. So RPI once again has to come in and punt.
It's the 4th and 11 at the 48 for RPI, and Moncrief is out to punt. Everett back at the 15. Moncrief's kick is high. Everett watches it go out of bounds. It actually lands out of bounds, so no attempt for a return here, no possibility for a return. It's out of bounds at the 24-yard line on the Buffalo State side of the field. We have 11:27 to go here in the 1st half. It's Buffalo State 14 and RPI 7.
And again, Buffalo State going back on offense after scoring their last offensive possession. So RPI defense trying to stop the bleeding after they had a good first defensive series.
First and 10 for the Bengals at their own 24. Chesky fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, runs to the right, gets upended, and he's able to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and a good job by the defensive end staying home and reading, not biting for the fake. And he was able to block Chesky and tackle Chesky from going anywhere else. So good job staying home.
Gisasola on the tackle there for RPI. 2nd and 11. We'll say it's a loss of 1 on that play on what was a Chesky run. 2nd down and 11. Chesky rolls to his left, puts the ball up in the air, and he's got it, man, and that is a nice completion to Jackson into RPI territory. He's out of bounds at the 41.
Yeah, blown coverage as there was a back covering, but the defensive back covering the man who caught the pass got off his receiver and went and tried to get Everett in shorthand, which made Jackson wide open. RPI has to do a better job of covering.
RPI had a lot of trouble with St. Lawrence's pass offense last week, and that led the Saints to open up a 35-0 lead by the time the fourth quarter was well underway. Pass in the flat for Buffalo State. That'll only get him out to the 39-yard line. Was that Ray on the reception?
Yeah,
no, that was Bailey. Bailey.
And RPI, when Buffalo State does those passes behind the line of scrimmage and their screen passes, RPI is right there to cover them. It's just when they send the receiver out more than 10 yards, RPI doesn't seem to know what to do.
Called a gain of 2 to Bailey. Second and 8 for Buffalo State at the 39-yard line of RPI. Hand off to Bailey. Bailey trying to go up the middle, almost turned to get away, but he only gets a yard out of this. He was trying to turn just to get free, but he got caught by one of the defenders, and gain of 1 for Buffalo State.
Yeah, good job by the RPI linebackers reading the play and staying home and making sure Bailey doesn't get anywhere else besides 1 yard. So this brings up a third down for Buffalo State.
You have to wonder, if they pick up a few yards, would they go for it on fourth down here?
I would.
4 wide receivers, Bailey in the backfield. Chesky takes a snap. He's going to throw, and is that caught? Nope, incomplete. I couldn't see the ball after it went off the hand of Jackson at about the 33. So it's incomplete now, and it's fourth down for Buffalo State.
Yeah, and Jackson almost made a very nice play, almost a one-handed catch, but nothing doing. He would have been short of the first down anyway had he caught it, but a nice effort by Jackson. Fourth down for Buffalo State. Looks like they're going for it.
Christian Ozolins' team, he's the head coach of Buffalo State, 1-6. Why not go for it here? Fourth down at the 38-yard line. 5 wide receivers for Chesky. Takes the snap. Scanning the field, under pressure, gets away from that. Rolls out to his right. Now he's going sideline, and that'll go incomplete. And so Buffalo State turns it over on downs at the RPI 38.
We have a hat down by one of the referees. Not that means anything. 8:57 left to play in the half. 14-7 Buffalo State. And RPI will take over on downs. They will start first and 10 from a decent field position for them. For their 38-yard line. So see what they can do with the ball now. And they're in 38.
Hobart with a 7-0 lead on St. Lawrence. 9:03 to go in the second quarter. That game being played in Geneva. The Union Ithaca game is being played in Ithaca. First and 10 RPI at their own 38, down by 7. Munoz Watts goes in motion from the far side. Marinopoulos hands off to Scaglione on first down. Scaglione finds some room on the left side, and he rolls over a couple of players and ends up getting 5 yards to the 43.
Yeah, good effort by Scaglione. They get a 2nd and 5 for RPI.
Difference in the game right now is a short field touchdown by Buffalo State. That was off called a muffed punt return by RPI. Both teams had big plays to pick up touchdowns for the other two scores. Munoz Watts again in motion on what is 2nd and 5. Marinopoulos wants to throw, goes looking towards the sidelines, and is that complete by Palmer in the field play? Yes, he got a foot down at the 42. That's a first down.
Yeah, great catch by Palmer. Even better throw by Marinopoulos. Marinopoulos put that ball where only Palmer could get to it, and it was either going to go out of bounds or Palmer was going to catch it, and Palmer said, I'm going to catch it. So great throw by George Marinopoulos.
14-7, Buffalo State leads. 8 to go here in the first half. RPI first and 10 at the 42. Scaglione takes the handoff, moves to the right, gets past the line, and he stopped at the 36. Gets about 6 on that play.
Yeah, Scaglione was stopped, and it almost looked like Buffalo State got away with a face mask. think that's what Scaglione is telling the official, saying, hey, watch the face.
Lazio on the tackle for Buffalo State. It'll be a 2nd and 4 now at the 36 for the Engineers. Michelin goes in motion to the left. There'll be 3 receivers over there. Handoff to Scaglione. Breaks the tackle. He's to the 30, 25, sideline. Put down at the 21, but that'll be another RPI first down.
Yeah, Scaglione got through and did a nasty stiff arm to break the tackle, and then he just gets popped by Bonnegur. He started tripped up, and Bonnegur just finished the job for him.
1st and 10 RPI at the 20 of Buffalo State. 7 to go here first half. Buffalo State 14, RPI 7. Three receivers to the left. Schrader, the tight end, on the right. Michelin goes behind the line of scrimmage, takes the handoff. Michelin will be caught from behind by Payne after he gains about 3 yards.
Michelin just running through the hole on the jet sweep, and Payne on the stop after 3 yards. So good job by Buffalo State shadowing the guy in motion coming around for the jet sweep, making sure he doesn't get the maximum yardage.
Second and 7 RPI at the 17-yard line. Buffalo State offense moving around. They don't cross the line, though. Scaglione takes the handoff. Scaglione fights his way through the line, and he's close to a first down at the 10-yard line.
Scaglione breaking some tackles. That will be a first down, as the official signaling for the first down. So this will be a first down.
First and goal.
And goal from the 10-yard line.
5:50 to go here, first half. Buffalo State 14, RPI 7. First and goal, Engineers. That is Michelin in for the direct snap. He's going to run right. That's the short side. He's going to run out of room, and he'll fall forward to about the 9-yard line.
Yeah, Michelin just getting 1 yard after the direct snap. So RPI taking a play from Buffalo State as they do the direct snap to Barely. So Michelin taking in the direct snap now. Unfortunately for RPI, there was no room for Michelin to run.
Marinopoulos is on the field. He's the wideout on the far side on this formation. There's Darren Wesley is guarding him right now over on that side. Michelin is in the QB position. Michelin's going to run left. Now he's going to cut forward to the 5. Michelin gets hit, stays on his feet, and he's in for the touchdown.
Yeah, good job by Michelin to make something out of nothing, and that something was a touchdown. He was stopped short on about the 5-yard line. He broke about 3 tackles to get in and dive into the end zone. So to tie this one, well, not tie this one up, get it within 1 to potentially tie this game up with an extra point.
Christian out to try the extra point. Snap, spot down, kick is up, it's good. Tied at 14 with 4:57 to go in the first half.
So RPI offense responding. They started on their own 38. They had great field position after a turnover on downs, and some good play calls by Ralph Iserni and a brilliant pass by George Marinopoulos to Palmer, it was, on the sideline. Helped a lot, and that pass fell right in Palmer's hands where only he could catch it. Good job by George Marinopoulos on that throw, which helped RPI get into Buffalo State territory, and then Michelin took it from there to make this 1-point game, and the extra point tied it up at 14.
Christian getting ready to boot the ball away. Have at least Everett back there on the kick return, along with Prawl now for Buffalo State. Christian boots it. Prawl will tell everybody to stay away from it, and this kick goes out of bounds. So Buffalo State will take this at their own 35.
Yeah, it's a slight mistake by Christian as the kickoff goes out of bounds. And Troll doing a good job telling everybody to get it away from the ball. And if the ball goes out of bounds, so Buffalo State will start. 1st and 10 from the 35.
RPI's defense coming out there. That is Machi Conquo, Andrew Benitez, and Antonio Rogliano as the line up front. Alec Hazard, Grant Tragnick, Jack Fallon, and John Sadak are the linebackers. Blake Battle and Andre Giasola are the cornerbacks, and Joey Katowski and Francis Perry are the safeties for RPI. Buffalo State, 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. Handoff on 1st down. This is going to be a 1st down for McKinney as he gets out to the 47 before he's stopped.
A good run there by Buffalo State to start. And RPI defense claiming there was a hold, but there was no call by the officials, so 1st and 10.
We saw this against Hobart, where the RPI defense was the game-changing touchdown against Hobart 3 weeks ago. I'll continue this after this play. 1st and 10, Buffalo State, as we're tied at 14 here in the 1st quarter. Pass is completed to Everett. He crosses the he stopped right at the 50-yard line for a gain of 3. The pivotal touchdown, which put Hobart ahead at the end of the 1st half, was RPI trying to point out a false start that Hobart did, which they did, but your job on defense is to play defense. And RPI, that was a key play because it looked like RPI's defense was just momentarily more concerned about a penalty call than the play, and that allowed Hobart to get a slight edge on that and ended up in a big touchdown for RPI. 2nd down and 7 for Buffalo State. McKinney's carry is stopped at the 49. He's pushed back after that, but forward progress to the 49-yard line.
Yeah, again, see, RPI is complaining that there was a hold, but like you said, just worry about playing defense. Let the coaches worry about non-calls or calls that shouldn't have been called. But yeah, you play defense, and if you stop them from scoring a touchdown, then the penalty doesn't matter because you got the ball back.
Right. 3rd down and 6 at the 49-yard line. Chesky scanning the field, has time, running out of time, rolls to his right, throws. That is complete, not for a 1st down though. McKinney is bumped out of bounds, short of the 1st down, around the 45, needed to get to the 43.
Yeah, and it looks like it's 4th and about 2, and Buffalo State's going to go for it again.
Are they?
Nope. Looks like they are sending out the punt team.
Sajak is coming out to punt. RPI has to switch up their defense. They had the defense out there. They have to get the punt return team out there. Lombardi is back at around his own 10. High snap. Sajak brings it down. Boots it. Lombardi, fair catch at the 15-yard line. He's got it. There's 2:35 left to go in the 1st half. Flag also on the play. 2 flags on the play. I think this is going against Buffalo State.
So holding against Buffalo State, the 10-yard penalty will be tacked on at the end of the catch instead of a re-kick. So RPI was doing complaining for the officials and saying, hey, watch the holds. Guess the officials have been listening, but it's still, you let the coaches do that. So that time it paid off. The officials were watching for the holds. That time they called it. So RPI will start 1st and 10 from their own 26-yard line.
Tied at 14. RPI be getting the ball to start out the 2nd half. Marinopolis on 1st and 10 at the 26. Throws, looking for Lombardi, and his hand might have been hit. That goes incomplete.
Yeah, they were coming in, and Marinopolis just sort of stepped aside, and the ball sort of went into the turf. You are listening to 91.5 FM WRPI Troy, coverage of RPI football here from East Campus Athletic Stadium. Ed DeGarry along with and Kurt Stott here on the call for you. Currently tied at 14, RPI and Buffalo State.
2nd and 10 at the 26 for RPI. Marinopoulos under pressure, gets rid of this one very quickly. Burnett has it. He stiff arms one man, 35. He's out at the 38, but that'll be a first down for RPI.
Yeah, and a good screen from RPI looking to Buffalo State, and a good stiff arm. But again, with the stiff arms, you got to be careful with the stiff arms to the head. You can't touch the face mask. Very rarely do the offensive face mask get called on the stiff arm, but you still got to be careful.
1st and 10 RPI at the 38, 2:05 to go here in the first half. Marinopoulos is under pressure, gets rid of the ball, and that'll be incomplete. He was looking for Smith in the broadest sense of looking for. He was just looking to get rid of the ball. Smith was in the area.
Yes. So as a coach for Buffalo State, seems okay with the
because
the intentional grounding. But
because when Coach Isernier was complaining, that was basically the same distance between the receiver and the ball from when Coach Isernier was complaining to what Buffalo State just got. If you're going to call it one way, call it the other way, that's fine. Yes. 2nd and 10 RPI, 1:59 to go in the half. Marinopoulos has to get rid of the ball quickly. Burnett has it on the short pass to the 40. Burnett hit at the 45. And he is down there. It'll be 3rd down and 3 RPI.
Yeah, the screen pass seems to be working for RPI. Burnett with the catch. Marinopoulos doing a good job finding him. But again, Burnett has to be careful with the stiff arm that time. Again, a little bit too high in the face. So RPI is lucky they're not getting called for it now. But Burnett needs to be a little bit more careful with where he's putting the arm.
3rd down and 3 at the 45 for RPI. Marinopoulos to throw. He's going to put it up, looking for Burnett, can't handle it, trying to make a one-on grab along the sidelines, can't handle it, and he's out of bounds. And the ball is incomplete, and now it's 4th down and 3 for RPI.
Yeah, almost a nice catch by Burnett, by Ralph Isernier. Just briefly said, hey, there's pass interference right there. I knew he wasn't going to get anything from it, but he just had to mention it, so RPI will punt.
If anything, he wants holding, because a pass interference call, they could just say, well, ball's uncatchable. You know, no pass interference. You're looking really for a holding there. Fourth down and 3, and RPI is going to send out Moncrief to punt. And that was a false start against RPI. Somebody moved early. So it'll back RPI up 5 yards for this punt. Ball's on the 40-yard line now. Everett back for Buffalo State around his own 25-yard line. Moncrief boots it, high kick. Everett signals fair catch, actually catches it out of bounds. So Buffalo State will have it at their own 22-yard line with 1:16 to go here in the first half.
RPI Buffalo State tied at 14. Buffalo State doing a good job stopping RPI on offense as Buffalo State again comes out for another offensive possession. RPI has a stop. Then Buffalo State scored on 2 consecutive possessions. RPI stopped them again. And now Buffalo State out. If you're Buffalo State, you're hoping RPI doesn't stop you and you get a touchdown and you get in halftime with a lead here over RPI.
1st and 10 at the 22. Pass. Is that caught? Looks, nope. They're going to say incomplete. They're going to say it hit the ground. Stewart did not catch that.
That was a late whistle, but Stewart was tackled. He was tackled after we got the first down, but again, it was an incomplete pass. So a very late whistle by the
the late whistle is the key there.
Yeah.
It took a while before the whistle came out to tell everybody that play should be dead at that point. And from where we are on the 6th floor, the field's on the 2nd floor here. This is the 6th floor. It was too close for me to tell It was real tight there. Not a lot of complaining by Everett, pardon me. Bailey takes the ball on a pass, and he's out of bounds at the 24. And so an incomplete pass and an out of bounds at this point has the clock at 1:07 to go here in the first half. And Buffalo State looking at a 3rd and long, which means RPI can be getting the ball back again. They also have 3 timeouts. RPI does. Both teams have all 3 timeouts.
Yeah, so Buffalo State right now is hoping for a first down and keep the ball. RPI needs to stop them to presume get good field position.
Chesky takes a snap on 3rd down, gets away from the man pressuring him, still has the ball, 25. Chesky's going to get forced out around the 27. And that was Sadak on the tackle for RPI. And somebody taking a timeout here?
No, he was out of bounds.
Yes, I know, but
Oh.
I thought somebody had signaled timeout.
Oh.
I was wrong.
Well, that time RPI defense did the right thing. They were blocking the sticks and covering all the receivers, and they just let Chesky run the ball. Nope, you were right. You were right. Buffalo State took the timeout.
Well, they just took it.
Well, they proved you right, Kurt. They were listening to our broadcast.
I guess I was right 20 seconds early.
But anyway, what I was saying, the RPI defense was doing a good job covering the receivers to make sure Chesky couldn't get a pass off. And they just sort of waited till Chesky crossed the line of scrimmage before they went after him to sort of force Chesky into running the ball to get out of bounds and stop short of the first down. So great awareness there by the RPI defense. So
you also wanted him to go out of bounds.
Yes.
To save a timeout at that point. I mean,
Yes.
Buffalo State, because you're inside 2 minutes, the play going out of bounds stops the clock until the next snap. So Buffalo State taking a timeout here doesn't matter. They just want to talk things over for this punt return, and they're probably not going to have a big need unless they get the ball for these timeouts again. So you might as well use it now and get yourself straight.
And then RPI is now going to get the ball back with about 45 seconds left and 3 timeouts and good field position. So, and the screens have been working, so we'll see what Ralph Isonia draws up to try to get his team a lead in halftime.
Under a minute to go. Hobart leads St. Lawrence 14-0. And they are probably underway in Ithaca at this point. They are. No score early in that game. So the ball gets snapped back to Sajak. Good kick. Lombardi has to retreat on this. Signals for a fair catch, and Lombardi grabbed it around the 28 of RPI. So there's 48 seconds left in the half. RPI's got the ball, tied at 14.
Yeah, and Lombardi sort of got lucky there. He had to go all the way back to make that catch. So he made the catch and stopped the bleeding. So now RPI has 48 seconds to go 78 yards. 72 yards, sorry. And get themselves a lead in 3 timeouts.
First and 10, RPI at their own 28. And this is a halfback option, which is going to be a loss of yards, as there was nothing, absolutely nothing for McDonald to do with that ball. He had nobody to throw it to. I think Smith was the only person anywhere deep downfield.
Yeah, and unlike what we saw earlier, as Buffalo State didn't bite on the fake, so which left the receiver not open. And RPI choosing not to take a timeout here.
20 seconds to go in the half. Marinopoulos on second down. Makes the throw. McDonald has it, and McDonald is out of bounds with 11 seconds to go at the 25-yard line. So it's a 3rd and 13 for RPI.
Yeah, so right now you have 9 seconds, so you may have time to do one play towards the sideline for a first down, take a timeout, and then do a Hail Mary. Maybe, unless they have to do a Hail Mary here.
Well, they got 3 timeouts. And this is definitely not a Hail Mary. Meischlin coming across the middle is going to take it. Meischlin's out to the 30, to the 35 for what would be 4th down. And nobody's going to stop the clock, and we've got a penalty coming here afterwards. The clock expired, didn't see anybody calling a timeout, and then the flags came out, 2 flags, right around where Meischel was tackled.
So we'll see what happens here. If this is a defensive penalty, RPI will get one more play.
Okay, so the penalty is against RPI. The half is over, and Buffalo State will be kicking off from the 50. They'll assess that at the start of the second half. So Buffalo State kicks off at the 50 to start half number 2. As we are in halftime right now here in Troy, tied at 14, RPI versus Buffalo State.
Yeah, and the key there was the referee said after the half had expired, so that enabled that made the option very easy for Buffalo State what to do. So they will get the ball here and kick off to RPI from midfield. So all right, now if you're RPI, that wasn't very good clock management at the end there. You had 3 timeouts.
Well, I think when the first play went south, with that little time left, I think they were thinking, you know what, we're probably not going to make it downfield at this point. Let's try to get rid of the clock. I think really that's what RPI was trying to do there. If you don't make it big on your first play and do something, then perhaps the best and wisest course of action is just to go into the locker room and come back at halftime.
Yeah, and Coach Isonia is still talking with the officials before we'll see what he's talking about. But
well, I don't think we're going to hear, though.
Well, he's called them all over. Like, they're all over there with Coach Isonia. So usually you only talk to one instead of talking to them all.
He got them all as they were headed for the locker room. That's how he got them. He just waited it out, and they all had to go towards the locker room. Anyway, we're going to take a break here as we are in halftime of today's RPI Buffalo State game. The score after one half, it is RPI 14 and Buffalo State 14. And you're listening to live coverage of Engineer football on 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy.
Hey, Ranger, why do you have to remind people to be careful with fire?
Well, Mr. Mountain Lion, sometimes people need to be reminded about certain things, like not to run with scissors or let children play with wild dingoes, and to be responsible for fires they start.
So what you're saying is that people can be careless and forgetful?
Pretty much.
That makes me very sad.
Sounds like someone needs a hug.
Back off or I'll turn your hat into confetti!
Remember, only you can prevent wildfires. Public service message from Smokey Bear, the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
I am the port in the storm.
I am the line in the sand.
I am the rescuer in the dark. I am the enforcer of the seas.
I am the defender of the homeland.
In the United States Coast Guard and Coast Guard Reserve, you are the first line of defense against threats to our American way of life. To become one of us, call 1-877-NOW-USCG or visit GoCoastGuard.com.
We are the shield of freedom. We are the United States Coast Guard.
Sponsored by the U.S. Coast Guard in cooperation with the New York State Broadcasters Association and this station.
Making it green is making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. It's easy. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN. Preserve your family's health and well-being. Get your home tested. That's living healthy and green. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. It's easy. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN.
A message from the U.S. EPA.
This is 91.5 FM WRPI Troy, the home of RPI Engineer football.
Now, Leland, no TV until you've cleaned up your room.
Aw, Mom. Once upon a time, being a parent was simpler. Today, not so simple.
Hey, Crash. Crash! Take out the buds, please. If I find out you've been trying 900s in the half pipe without your armor, I'm taking away your cell phone.
Aw, Mom. skateboards, roller shoes, mountain bikes, freestyle motocross. When kids play today, they're going faster and winding up in the trauma center in record numbers. We don't expect kids to stop their extreme sports and start playing Simon Says, but parents, at least make sure your kid wears the right safety gear. It really can save bones and lives. A message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons and the Orthopedic Trauma Association. For more information on safety gear, visit orthoinfo.org.
Excuse me, do you know how to get to Maine and Maple?
Do you have these in a 7.5?
How's that cooked?
Can I get that shipped overnight?
Is there a direct flight?
How long does the warranty last?
What's your soup of the day? How do you change the ringtone?
Does it come in blue?
Does this bus stop at Elm Street?
We ask questions everywhere in life.
Is it raining out?
What time's the meeting?
How much does this cost?
Does it have four-wheel drive?
Have we met before?
What's my account balance?
Yet somehow, when we get to the doctor's office... Any questions?
No.
We clam up. Ask questions.
What is this test for?
Are there any side effects?
When do I get my results?
Questions lead to better healthcare. Go to ahrq.gov for a list of 10 questions everyone should know. Questions are the answer. Public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Live with you once more here from the East Campus Stadium in Troy, New York, where the score at halftime, it is RPI and Buffalo State tied at 14. First out here with Ed DeGarian on the call for you, bringing all the action on 91.5 FM WRPI Troy. Time to take a look at the Liberty League. What's going on? Things got simplified last weekend as RPI lost to St. Lawrence, which made everything very, very easy in terms of coming into this weekend. The teams in the standings for the Liberty League, Union and Ithaca, both 4-0. Everybody after that has a losing record at this point. Buff State, Hobart, RPI, and St. Lawrence all tied for 3rd through 6th in the league with 1 and 2 marks. And then you have Rochester winless, 0-4. They're off this week, so they can't lose this week. But 0-4, and Rochester hasn't won a league game since 2015 was the last time Rochester won a game in the league. So let's set up today's winner goes to the NCAA tournament game between Ithaca and Union, which is underway in Ithaca, and halfway through the first quarter, Union has a 7-0 lead on the Bombers. Bombers are ranked around 5th in the nation, or they're ranked significantly higher than Union. They're both in the top 25 in the latest D3Football.com poll. Where are they? Ithaca's 8th and Union is 25th. So that's a winner-take-all there, which also means that in terms of the auto bid, the last 2 weeks of the season don't mean anything.
RPI women's hockey versus Clemson University today at 3 p.m. at Houston Fieldhouse, and it's packed house game. The first 100 fans will receive a free T-shirt at the second intermission. Come on down to the rink following today's football game and support your engineers. The women's soccer team is also at home today, hosting Ithaca College. That game starts at 1:30 p.m. right here in UCAS Stadium.
You can't play jingle bells by yourself. Well, if you had the whole set, Wait, that's not how it works. A bell? I'm never gonna do it. I only knew because I Dad, so look what
like somebody passed it down. They said thank you for the popcorn. Did you meet?
Hey fans, presenting game ticket at Sunday at Joy Plaza and receive 10% off your order. Sunday, just down the hill at Joy Plaza. I have one Joy Reese's.
Nick and Grant are best friends. My son and her son. Okay. Best buddies. They live together, they hang out together, they sleep together, they eat together, they shower together. That's a lot. I bought them sausage and peppers and everything because the boys are excited. Last week I made them meatballs.
The 2019-2020 RPI hockey season is just around the corner. Come and see some of the biggest names, Frozen Four finalists, and ECAC tournament winners at the Hockey Events. Contact the box office to reserve jerseys today at 518-276-6262. Let's go red.
Mom, look at Marissa and her friends.
If he's already on the list of seniors, then they would have gotten the poster either way. They don't make you.
I know, but I just saw it. I didn't get. Why would you like it, Mom? Maybe I didn't want to like it.
I don't like it. Go back to the first picture ever.
So funny. How do I know when you don't know? I know. Wait. So I'm seeing
The parents go my mom and they do, and they have a poster for the kids, so that's why they would have gotten an email saying we want to join the poster. But it was a group, so I didn't see whose names were there. It was a blank box. But I'm gonna find out.
taking classes next year? Yeah, he is. friend you on Instagram.
Hello?
Come on, 3-1, let's go!
How near or how far. I will not pass gas in your face, because the gas I pass is worse than mace. A silent but deadly cloud of toxic waste. The end. Secondhand smoke contains hydrogen cyanide and other lethal gases. Gases that are especially harmful to kids and babies whose bodies are still growing. Don't pass gas, take it outside. Get the facts at don'tpassgas.org. A message from the American Legacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
And we are live with you once more here at the East Campus Stadium on the campus of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in Troy, New York, where we are about to start the second half of play between RPI and Buffalo State. The score after one half, it is RPI 14 and Buffalo State 14. Kurt Studd along with Ed DeGarian bringing you all the action live today on 91.5 FM WRPI Troy. Because of the personal foul penalty at the end of the first half, Buffalo State is getting ready to kick off from the 50-yard line, and they are going to boot this one, and it will be at the goal line, and it's going to be downed in the end zone, and Munoz Watts was confused. Can he down it in the end zone, or is it going to be at the 1-yard line? There is confusion on this, and it will be a touchback, and RPI gets it at the 25-yard line.
Well, he's also lucky he didn't take a step out, because if he stepped out then came back in and downed it, would have been a safety. So he's very lucky that didn't happen. So he was looking at the official, and he did down it in the end zone for a touchback. So there's a little confusion to start the half, but who knows what's getting lucky that way that he didn't give up a safety in the very beginning.
So 1st and 10, RPI at the 25-yard line, their own 25 to start out half number 2. Tied at 14 here in Troy. Marinopoulos out of the shotgun, scanning the field. He's got time, looking for Smith along the sidelines, and that is incomplete. The ball was thrown into the RPI sideline.
No, and it was also nice coverage by Elohim Tucker, the senior from the Bronx, making sure that nobody was going to catch that pass, and Marinopoulos had to throw it to the sidelines out of bounds, so there was no chance of that pass being completed because of Tucker's coverage.
2nd down and 10 at the 25-yard line for RPI. Munoz Watts on the handoff, only gets about a yard to the 26-yard line. Ran straight ahead, but then couldn't get past Kilgo.
No, and RPI, not starting out the way they wanted to in the second half. So 3rd and long for them right now.
3rd down and 9 for the Engineers. 2 receivers each side. Munoz Watts in the backfield along with Marinopoulos. Now RPI is going to send Lombardi in motion to the far side. Marinopoulos looks that way. Pass, that's complete to Michelin, but he's caught behind the line of scrimmage. He manages to fight back to it, but they needed 9 more beyond that, and RPI is not going to get that, and Moncrief is coming out to punt.
No, but Buffalo State doing a good job reading that play. It's been RPI's bread and butter in the first half, and that play went nowhere. So RPI has 4th and 10, and Moncrief is coming out to punt for the first punt of the second half.
Update from Ithaca. It is Union 10, Ithaca 7 after 1 quarter of play. Moncrief boots the ball. Nice punt. Nice punt. Taken at about the 28-yard line, 30, and maybe out to the 35. That was actually a good run back by Everett. And we've got a flag on the play?
Yep, flag down. Coming in after the play, so.
It's not been a very clean game.
No. I did think there was a block in the back. I don't know if that was it, though, because of where the flag was thrown.
This seems more complicated than a block in the back.
Yes.
Again, there's referee Dave Hergert today. As the officials are still talking about this, now we'll get a call.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 15. 10-yard penalty. First down.
It was confusing to me because I did think there was a block in the back, but it happened in front of the official on that side of the field. He didn't call it. This official all the way down on the opposite end of the field called it. So. So I guess the official that it happened right in front of decided it wasn't a block on the back, and one did, and that what confused me. It looked like it looked like Border. I mean, don't get me wrong. It looked like he didn't let up on a hit, but it was still a block in the back, whether or not how hard you hit him.
So that moves the ball back 10 yards. It will be 1st and 10 for Ithaca at their own Buffalo State at their own 25-yard line. And Bailey on the ground goes left. He turns the corner, but doesn't get much beyond that. He's going to get stopped after a gain of about 3.5. In my defense, the uniforms look very similar.
I'll take your word for it. Well, and you had just read off the
I
second
just
score
did,
too. So.
but then when I look up, I see the white with blue, and that's Ithaca. That's also the same school. It's like I get Utica and Hobart confused at times because they are basically orange and blue. I get them confused. So it's Buffalo State, RPI's opponent here today. As it is 2nd and 6. They're going to say Bailey picked up 4 on that play. Pass to Stewart is incomplete. Bounced off his chest. I mean, that was right there. He just didn't catch it.
Nope. It just Stewart. He tried to run before he had the ball in his hands. So incomplete pass. 3rd down.
Not an exciting start to the second half so far. Third and 6 for Buffalo State at their own 34-yard line. Nope, 29-yard line. Sorry about that. 29-yard line. Jeske throws. That is complete to Everett, and Everett makes a move. He's to the 40, to the 50, along the sideline. Now he steps out of bounds, and he went out of bounds before he was hit by Gutowski. But he's out of bounds at the RPI 44, and that's a first down for Buffalo State.
Yeah, and the RPI defender tried to jump the route instead of just making the tackle on the play because he would have been stopped short of the first down. But if you're out there in one-on-one coverage, you never try to jump the route unless you're sure you can catch it.
Ball to the 44, 1st and 10, Buffalo State. 12-12 to go here in the 3rd quarter, tied at 14. Pass in the flat to Bailey. That's complete to the left-hand side. Bailey turns it upfield, and he's forced out of bounds around the 43. That's only a gain of 1.
Yeah, those little swing passes have been working for Buffalo State and getting to the outside, but RPI is doing a good job second half covering it so far.
Sun hiding behind the clouds right now. It's been sunny pretty much all day. Low 50s, call it here in Troy, maybe the high 40s, depending on how it goes. Pass on 2nd down and 9. That is complete to the 40. It's thrown out of bounds at the 38 is Stone, and we've got flags on the play after that, and I think that's because of the way he was thrown out of bounds.
Yeah, that's probably a horse collar tackle. There's 2 flags, probably for the same penalty.
Another discussion. Face mask against RPI.
So RPI has to keep their hands down. I mentioned that on offense, RPI getting away with some face masks on the stiff arm. But when you tackle like that, you're going to get called every time.
Ball down to the 23 now. That was 15 yards tacked on to the end of that play. So it's a 1st and 10 for Buffalo State at the 23. 11:15 to go 3rd quarter, tied at 14 at the East Campus Stadium. Three receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Bailey in the backfield. Jeske is going to throw. That is complete inside the 20, breaking free from a tackle down to the 10, and now tackled back is Prawl. And now RPI is claiming they've got the ball, but the officials say no. Prawl is stopped at the 11 for what will be a first down.
Yeah, forward progress was stopped, and the whistle clearly was blown before the ball came out.
Watching the replay right now, he's stood up, pushed back, pushed down, yeah. And then the ball was ripped out, yeah, clearly. Clearly forward progress has him at the 11. So they're moving the chains on the other side. It'll be a 1st and 10 for Buffalo State at the 11-yard line. Going against the wind here in quarter number 3 are the Bengals. Actually, the color is black, isn't it? It's a black, not a blue. Call it a really dark blue. Timeout called by Buffalo State.
Timeout called by the dark blue team.
Yeah. 4 floors up. It's a ways.
But so the play clock was running down, which made Buffalo State take the timeout. So 10:26 to go in the third quarter, 14-14 here from ECAV. And Buffalo State threatening to go in. Ball is on the 11-yard line with a 1st and 10. So Buffalo State can get a first down without getting a touchdown, but it's
you don't see a lot of people saying, look, let's get that 1 yard.
Right.
Let's get down to the 1.
Right.
Touchdown. No, don't worry about the touchdown. We just need to get to the 1.
Right.
You don't see that a lot.
But again, it's just imagine of RPI defense, their pass coverage has to get better. Their run coverage is good. They've been doing a good job stopping the run and keying on Bailey. But their pass coverage has been a lot to be desired today.
And that's what happened last week, and that's what happened against Hobart. Chesky has 5 wide receivers. Bailey is wide to the right on this one. And Chesky's going to run this one straight up the middle. Chesky gets down to about the 6.
So I think that was a result of good coverage from the backfield from RPI, as Chesky had nowhere to throw the ball. So he decided to run it up the middle and get 5 yards.
Benitez on the tackle for RPI. Now Bailey is in at the QB position, and Chesky is off the field. He has Robinson in the backfield with him. And we've already seen Bailey has the ability to throw, and he's not afraid to throw it. So that is a possibility here. Bailey takes a snap. He's going to follow Robinson, and we've got a flag coming out, which I'm going to guess is holding, and the play is stopped at the 3-yard line.
Yeah, where the flag where it was thrown in the vicinity of holding on the line of scrimmage.
That will back up Buffalo State 10 yards.
So 2nd down.
Ball will be back at the 15-yard line for a 2nd and 14. Ed and I are going to disagree with the scoreboard on this one. We're going to say this is on the 15-yard line, and it's 2nd down and 14. Bailey still in there. Take this snap. Looking left. Wanted to throw, brings it down, rolls to his left. Now he's going to put the ball up in the air, and it's going to go incomplete. It was intended for Everett, right near the pylon on the goal line, and somebody on D for RPI came streaming in to knock that away towards the sideline.
Yeah, so that was really good coverage and not a bad rush either for RPI to make it a 3rd down. And again, it looked like Buffalo State got away with a hold, but the official didn't think so. So we're going to go 3rd down from the 15-yard line.
And they'll bring Chesky in now. Four wide receivers, Bailey in the backfield on 3rd and 14 for Buffalo State. Chesky wants to throw. Dishes it off short to Bailey, and he drops it. He was open, and he dropped it.
That was another result of Bailey having a lot of room to run, so he's turning to run before he has the ball. So that was just a mental error by Bailey. You always catch the ball before you run it, otherwise it falls incomplete, and it results in 4th down.
Carr coming out to try and break this 14-all tie. Sajak is the holder. This is a 32-yard field goal attempt from the right hash mark against the wind. Snap, spot, the kick is up. The kick is good. We have 9:02 to go, 3rd quarter here in Troy, and Buffalo State just has taken a 17-14 lead over RPI.
And RPI, the pass coverage was a little bit to be desired early on in that drive, and then they shorted up, and Buffalo State had to settle for a field goal to take a 17-14 lead in this one. So, sloppy game by both teams, penalty-wise and pass-wise. You know, a couple times outside Buffalo State.
Two drops, and both were a result of the receiver running before he caught the ball. So RPI special teams drawing the play of what they want. So this will be a kickoff from the regular 35-yard line. I mean, Buffalo State's been going short on all their kickoffs.
Yes. So if I were RPI, I'd put some of your return men up short.
Munoz Watts and Walker Sutton are the return men, but the ball never really gets to them. Now it's going to be taken at the 30-yard line by Munoz Watts, tries to dance his way through a crowd to the 35, and that's all.
Yeah, and the play's getting a little chippy down there now, so a little extracurricular activity.
No penalties coming out of that, though. Out of town, 9:02 to go, second quarter. Union 10, Ithaca 7. And your other Liberty League game is halfway through the third quarter. Hobart 35, St. Lawrence nothing. First and 10, RPI at their own 35-yard line, down by 3 with 8:56 to go in the third quarter. Marinopoulos fakes a handoff, has protection, throws the ball, and it is caught. Yes, Walker Sutton has it with a diving catch. And he'll bring it down, and he is down near the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that was a great catch by Walker Sutton. He did have a step, but the ball was a little bit overthrown by Marinopoulos, and Walker Sutton just laying out to catch that ball.
4 wide receiver set for RPI, first and 10 at the Buffalo State 30-yard line. Marinopoulos under pressure, and flag, and the ball pops up. It's covered by RPI. They're going to rule that's an incomplete pass. It's covered by RPI nonetheless, and a flag was out as well before that all happened.
Yeah, Marinopoulos' arm was going forward, so he was hit as he threw it. His arm was going forward. So we're probably going to get a hold.
Yep, that's what it's going to be.
I'm always of the belief that if you're going to hold your man, he should not be the one making the tackle or in for the sack.
Yes, if you're holding him and he sacks the quarterback, you didn't do holding properly. That'll be 10 yards against RPI. First and 20 back at the 40-yard line for RPI. Scaglione takes the ball, and he finds a hole to the 30. Scaglione to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, 5. Scaglione in for the touchdown. RPI leads 20-17.
Yeah, Scaglione found a nice small hole, and he just turned on the jets, and he went untouched. 8:25 left to play in the third. 20-17. RPI leads Buffalo State, and a nice run by Scaglione to give RPI the lead back.
Christian out to try the extra point. Snap, spots down, the kick is up, it's good. 8:25 to go, third quarter, RPI 21, Buffalo State 17.
So RPI did a good job responding after the Buffalo State field goal. Another long run by Scaglione, a good job blocking up front by the offensive line for RPI, enabled Scaglione to find the hole and turn on the jets and go to the races, and he scored to give RPI the lead. But let's not take away the catch by Walker for RPI, just laying out to put them in the position to score that touchdown. You know, of course they had the holding call after that, but a great catch, great diving catch by Walker on an overthrow that was by Marinopoulos, and if that was in stride, then Walker would have had the touchdown. But anyway, it was a great catch, and then RPI took the lead a couple plays later. So 21-17, 8:25 left to play in the third.
Christian tees the ball up at the 35-yard line. It's RPI right to left, Buffalo State left to right across your radio dial in this third quarter. Jackson and Prawl back deep. Kick goes to Jackson at the 7-yard line. 10, 15, 20, 25, and out of bounds. He's out of bounds at the 27. Buffalo State takes over there.
So 8:19 left to play in this one. RPI defense coming out again. They, if you're the defensive coordinator, you have for RPI, you have to talk to your team. Well, guys, we need to show up our pass coverage. We are getting killed on the pass all day today. Once that happens, RPI has Buffalo State stopped pretty well. So it's just the pass defense, just the long pass defense, the screens, the swing passes have pretty much covered by RPI, but it's the deep throws that they were getting crushed on all day long.
4 wide receiver formation for Buffalo State on 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. On a handoff, that goes, or from the 27, it goes to the 30-yard line. McKinney in the backfield right now for Buffalo State. He makes it out to the 30.
So RPI doing a good job on the run, covering any holes with the linebackers, staying home, and not biting for any fancy fakes that Buffalo State tries to do.
3 receivers right, 1 to the left for Chesky on 2nd and 7. And we've got a penalty flag. That play is dead. Play never happened. Everett did get the completion, but the whistle had already blown before the ball was thrown.
So we got a movement against Buffalo State. So 5-yard penalty brings this one back.
So 2nd and 12, let's call it, for Buffalo State at their own 25. Handoff, and, well, it's going to get a little bit more than I thought, but not a whole heck of a lot. Only about 2 yards, as McKinney couldn't find much room to go through.
Well, no, the initial tackler for RPI tried to rip the ball out of McKinney's hands, which enabled McKinney to go a little bit farther. You always got to make the tackle, then worry about the ball.
Third and 8 now for Buffalo State. Chesky rolls to his left. He's got receivers over there. Pass complete to Everett near the marker, and I think they're going to give it to him. I think he's got it at 37, and that should be a first down for for Buffalo State, pardon me.
Yep, Everett just went to the chains, caught the pass, and got out of bounds. So good awareness of where he was on the field.
First and 10, Buffalo State at the 37 on their side of the field. 21-17, RPI leads with 6:35 to go in the third quarter. 3 wideouts and a slot receiver for Buffalo State. McKinney with the carry, and okay, we got another flag coming out. This was unnecessary as the tackle, RPI picks up a tackle well behind where McKinney was. McKinney went into a pile, then suddenly came flying out of the pile, and I didn't see what happened there.
Well, he came out of the pile with an RPI tackler on his back. And again, another WWE-style suplex after the play.
You can explain this fully after the game.
Brock Lesnar, Suplex City.
I know nothing about wrestling. You're better off talking basketball to me, and I know almost nothing about basketball. Ball to the 46 on RPI side of the field after the 15-yard personal foul against RPI. And it's the first and 10 for Buffalo State. 21-17, RPI leads. 6:10 to go in the third quarter. Pump fake, and now Chesky throws. Everett's got it at the 15 to the 10. Everett is tackled inside the 5. He's down to 3.
Again, that was bad coverage.
There were two guys there.
Yeah, there were two guys there, but the problem was they both stopped. They both stopped for the, to look back at the quarterback while Everett was still running, and they let Everett get behind him. So yes, there was two guys there, but you can't stop to look for the ball. You gotta worry about your man.
First and goal at the 3 for Buffalo State. They trail by 4 with 5:40 to go in the third quarter. 4 wide receiver formation. A pass that is Everett complete. Nice catch by Everett. He had to grab it with his right hand and pull it in almost single-handedly. He's got it at the goal line. He's in for the TD, and Buffalo State leads 23-21.
Yep, 23-21 Buffalo State. So good answer by Buffalo State on a mistake by RPI. When you have the guy stop like that and the whistle blows, you can't pick him up and slam him down on the field. Especially giving him a first down and keeping the drive alive.
Carr out to try the extra point. Kick is up. Kick is good. We have 5:31 to go here. Quarter number 3, and it's now Buffalo State 24, RPI 21.
RPI defense, again, the pass coverage, yes, Kurt mentioned there was two guys there, but again, they can't look in the backfield to see what the quarterback is doing. They got to worry about concentrating on covering their man. When the receiver turns around to look for the ball, that's when you turn around to look for the ball. You can't be staring at the quarterback to see when he throws the ball. You can get away with it to an extent in professional football, but not in college. You have to cover your man. You can say it till you're blue in your face, and RPI is really not covering their man, and they're getting beat right now, 24-21.
Out of town, Ithaca has retaken the lead over Union. It is now 14-10 with 2:34 to go in the second quarter in Ithaca. St. Lawrence has gotten on the board. They now trail 35-3 late in the third quarter to Hobart. Another high, short kick. Munoz Watch fumbles it, picks it up while he's moving. He's to the 30, and Munoz Watch is to the 35, and then just a mass of bodies fall on top of him at about the 37.
You are listening to 91.5 FM WRPI Troy. Coverage of Engineer football here from the East Campus Athletic Village Stadium. Ed DeGarry and Kurt start on the call here for you. Currently it is 24-21. Buffalo State leads RPI with 5 minutes and 23 seconds left to play in the third quarter. RPI just received the ball on the Buffalo State kickoff after the touchdown.
RPI starting out at the 38. Oddly, this ties for their best field position for a start in today's game. They have never started on Buffalo State's side of the field. In fact, the only drive that started on the opposition side of the field is the muffed punt by RPI when Buffalo State started at the RPI 24, and that led to a touchdown. First and 10 for the Engineers. Marinopoulos' pass is tipped and almost intercepted. It ends up falling incomplete. Bonagura had the best chance at that after a second tip, but he just couldn't get to the ball in time.
Yep, tipped twice, and then Bonagura dropped it. And RPI, their offensive line, has to start blocking a lot better.
Second and 10 at the 38 for the Engineers. Handoff goes to Burnett. He goes right, cuts it upfield. Flag comes out right after he passes the line of scrimmage. He's tackled at the 40, at the 47, but I got a hunch this is coming back. Yep.
Holding against RPI. This is coming back, 10-yard penalty. Right now, Buffalo State playing with all the energy. It looks like RPI doesn't have any right now. And the crowd that made the trip from Buffalo starting to get into the game as well.
It's probably about 70 people over there. On the opposite side from us, we're in the stadium side. That is just the stands side on the east side of the stadium. Second down and long for RPI. Marinopolis has time, throws. That is complete to Todd, but he is stopped at the 36-yard line. It'll make it third and long. Third and about 12 now for RPI.
So obvious passing situation. Buffalo State gets the right personnel in the game. So RPI right now, we'll see what they have. We'll see if they want to block or if they want to just get off the field and take a breather.
One man in the backfield, man in the slot, and you got 3 wide receivers right now for RPI. Third down and 12. Fakes the handoff to Burnett. Under pressure, gets hit, and he is sacked back at the 32. O'Diggy comes in and takes Marinopolis down, and RPI sending out the punt team.
Yep. So if you're RPI right now, you have to dig deep and find out what you want to do. Our Buffalo State did a good job responding to your touchdown, and now you're out in the field punting.
Moncrief kicks the ball away. Buffalo State wants nothing to do with this. They are going to let it bounce. It takes an RPI bounce inside the 15 to about the 13. And that'll be it. Flag on the play. I'm getting tired of saying that. This is back near the 50.
Discussion.
This is holding against Buffalo State. So I assume that it's going to go on the end of the run. Well, there was none. It'll go at the end of where the ball was down.
So 10-yard penalty would bring it to the 3-yard line. Okay, they're going to place on the 5, so.
Six-yard line, we'll call it. Buffalo State has it at the 6. Again, this is WRPI Troy with Engineer Football from the East Campus Stadium. Kurt Sudette, DeGarian for you. 24-21, Buffalo State leads in the third quarter, and they have it 1st and 10 at their own 6. Bailey back in the field, escapes one tackler, runs along the line of scrimmage, and then gets forced out with no gain. Ran a long way for nothing.
So RPI doing a good job stretching him out wide and making sure he isn't able to get any positive yardage for a second down.
Actually, I was wrong. He got 1 yard.
Still a long way for 1 yard.
Yes, yes. Second and 9 for Buffalo State. 3 minutes to go here, third quarter. Ball's on the 7-yard line. Chesky rolls to his right. He's under pressure. Throws. That is complete, and the receiver tried to make a move, but couldn't get any yards out of that. That was Naz Jackson who caught the ball at the 12. He might have been actually a yard ahead of that, but his move moved him back. He willingly went backwards. But at least makes it somewhat more manageable. It'll be a 3rd down and 4. Three receivers left, one to the right for Buffalo State. 3rd and 4. Bailey's in the backfield, and Chesky's going to run with it, fakes a pass. He's easily got the 1st down, runs out of bounds at the 27-yard line.
See, and RPI can't bite for these fakes. Chesky, he fakes these, and then the defenders stop, and then Chesky's able to extend the play. So if you're chasing after Chesky and he fakes, you just got to keep going after him and let the defenders behind you do their job as well. So
First and 10 for Buffalo State at the 27, their own 27. 1:40 to go here in the third quarter. Buffalo State leading 24-21 over RPI. High snap, taken down. Bailey tries to run straight ahead, and he's going to get out to the 30-yard line. They have not established the running game, have Buffalo State in today's game. Bailey, not a lot of yards.
Well, I mean, RPI doing a good job keying on him, but Buffalo State has been killing RPI all day with the passes. RPI not good pass coverage today.
Baylor has around 40 yards in today's game. From the 30-yard line, flag comes out right as the play happens, and it goes to Stewart for a completion near the 33, but there's a flag on this play.
This looks like it's going to be illegal motion against Buffalo State, but we'll see. They didn't blow the play dead. So, ineligible receiver downfield against Buffalo State. So, I was incorrect on the call, but I was correct on the team it was on, so this will...
You were 50-50 there.
So we'll move it back.
Ball's back at the 25 for a 2nd and 12. .30 seconds left here in the third quarter. Chesky out of the shotgun. Looking along the sidelines, and I think Stewart ran the wrong route there.
Yeah, it looked like Stewart ran the wrong route as Chesky was throwing the pass to where Stewart was supposed to be, and he wasn't there. So 26 seconds remaining in the third quarter. 24-21 Buffalo State over RPI.
Third and 12 at the 25 for Buffalo State. Out of the shotgun, Chesky steps up and can't, well, he does get away, stays on his feet, hits the umpire, who kind of provides a block. Now Chesky is down at the 31-yard line. Umpire's in the field of play. But that's not a first down for Buffalo State. They are 6 yards short. We don't have to run a play, though. Third quarter is ended here in Troy. Buffalo State 24, RPI 21.
So Buffalo State is coming out in the fourth quarter with a 3-point lead. So we'll see how RPI responds. RPI came out, responded to Buffalo State's field goal with a touchdown. And then Buffalo State went right down the field, responded with a touchdown of their own on a not-so-smart penalty by RPI, which kept a Buffalo State drive alive. So you got to play a lot smarter as well. You got to shore up your pass defense. You got to have good awareness on the field of what down it is to not commit any penalties, to keep any drives alive. And if that, if that happens, it'd be good to go. But right now, RPI is not doing the simple things that it takes to win a football game, and as a result, they're behind by 3.
Out-of-town update with 47 seconds left in the second quarter. Union 17, Ithaca 14. Yeah, you're looking at the stats here. We just got the stats. Passing yards, Buffalo State 288, RPI 121. And Buffalo State has 99 more yards in total offense than RPI. Fourth quarter about to get underway, 24-21. This is a fake punt pass, and that is complete to Stewart, and Stewart makes it down to the 38-yard line. So let's set this one up again. The ball was supposed to go to the punter, which was Sajak, and instead it went back to Everett, and Everett threw to Stewart to get a first down at the 38.
And that was the right call. Because you still have the entire, if you don't make it, you still have the entire fourth quarter to come to score on an RPI team who hasn't had good pass coverage all game and who's been making silly mistakes mentally. So that was the right call for Buffalo State, and it worked out in their favor, and it caught RPI off guard.
So now we've got a penalty against whom? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so Buffalo State had 12 people out there at one point, so they're going to lose 5 yards. Still a first down. They'll be back to the 43-yard line. Clock is running. Down to 5 seconds on the play clock. 1st and 15. Direct snap to Bailey, and he's caught in the backfield. So that's going to actually lose another 2 yards. Okay, so was that Benitez who got him? I think it was Benitez who came in for that tackle. So a loss of 2 on the first down. It comes 2nd and 17 now for Buffalo State. Trying to capitalize on the successful fake punt. Five wide receiver formation. Chesky drops back, now starts to run with the ball. Coming over to the near sideline. He doesn't have any blockers, and he's just going to get hit, and he goes out of bounds at the 44.
And he knew it was coming, so he just lowered his shoulder and absorbed the hit.
I think he would have been happy if they had just let him make one more step out of bounds.
He definitely would have been happy, but Blake Battle coming over, the defensive back for RPI, and saying, "I'm going to hit you. I have a shot at you. I'm going to take it."
3rd and 16 for Buffalo State. 13 to go here in the 4th quarter. RPI trailing by 3. Chesky rolling out to his right, gets away from the defenders, throws along the sideline. That's complete, and it's going to be a tough move for Stone to get to the first down marker. He had 2 people in front of him when he caught the ball. He's out of bounds at the 36, but now I got to be thinking if you're Buffalo State, you're going for it now anyway.
Yeah, this is it's a 4th and 8 for Buffalo State. They have all the momentum after the fake punt, and they're not even thinking about punting. They're just leaving their offense out there getting a play. I mean, if I was RPI, I'd think about putting another guy on the line instead of a 3-4, run a 4-3.
Fourth and 8 at the 36. Chesky drops back, finds a man, and is that complete? No, they're going to say out of bounds. Everett was out of bounds. Didn't get a foot down or control of the ball. One of the 2 around the 28, and that'll be lost. Or turning the ball over on downs for Buffalo State at the 36-yard line.
Well, I just saw the replay on the scoreboard. It looked like he did catch it. He caught it in the air, but one of the defensive backs for RPI came over and hit him before he had time to touch his feet inbound on the field, so he was sort of pushed out. After he made the initial catch, he did not get his feet down inbounds. So good job by RPI. 12:07 left to play in the 4th quarter. 24-21 Buffalo State over RPI.
Reminds me of the very bad rule in the NFL where they used to allow a completion if the player was tackled and pushed out of bounds before they could come down. That was a horrible rule. Horrible. 1st and 10 for RPI at the 36-yard line. Meishland cutting across in the slot back position is tackled after a gain of 1. Nope, that was Munoz Watts, pardon me, not Meishland.
So, 2nd down. And Kurt, you were talking about your Jets at halftime. I couldn't help but laugh, but they are playing the Dolphins on Sunday. So
somebody asked me how many games they're going to win this year. I said 3. 1 random game and then twice against the Dolphins. And they already got the random win. 2nd down and 9. RPI trailing by 3 here in the 4th quarter. 11.5 to go. Engineers have the ball. 5 wideouts for Marinopolis. Looks right, throws. That's a completion to Munoz Watts, but he steps out of bounds at the 42. And that'll set up a 3rd and 4 for RPI.
And Bonagura with the stop on Munoz Watts. So RPI desperately right now, they need a conversion.
3rd down and 4. Marinopolis Throws short. That is complete. This will be a first down to the 50. Lombardi is forced out of bounds at the 50-yard line, but the Engineers move the chains and keep the drive going.
A good job by Lombardi getting open and Marinopoulos finding them. Marinopoulos was sort of a sidearm throw to Lombardi to make it a first down at midfield for RPI.
First and 10 RPI at the 50. 10:55 to go, fourth quarter. 24-21. Buffalo State leads RPI. Munoz Watts takes the ball as he came in from the slot back position. He is stopped after a loss of 2 at the 48.
See, I think Buffalo State has pretty much have RPI scouted on first down. They're going to do that jet sweep as they had nobody in pass coverage, Buffalo State did, on that play on defense. So maybe a fake jet sweep and then a quick out pass for RPI on first down. Get them to back off the line of scrimmage a little bit.
Second and 12 RPI at their own 48-yard line. 3 receivers to the right. They're going to go on the ground to Burnett. Burnett, did he lose the ball? Yes, the ball came loose around the 48, and I have no idea who's got this.
Buffalo State's reacting like they have it.
I didn't even see the ball on the ground. I just saw Burnett not have the ball. And it looks like RPI recovered. RPI recovered that. So it stays RPI's ball. 3rd and 8 at the Buffalo State 48-yard line. We have 1 man in the backfield, receiver left, 3 on the right for RPI. Marinopoulos takes the snap, looks downfield, doesn't see anything. He's got to roll to his right. He's running, pass, and that is caught by McDonald out at the 37, but it's a first down.
It's a great catch by McDonald. One-handed grab by McDonald. Good for a first down, but good job by Marinopoulos keeping the play alive and finding a receiver downfield and hitting him for a first down. So George Marinopoulos using his legs to extend the play, which is what you want to see in your quarterback.
First and 10 RPI, we'll put it at the 36. 9:25 to go here in the fourth quarter. RPI trailing by 3. Munoz Watts takes the carry. 1 man hits a leg, the 2nd man comes in, finishes him off, and Munoz Watts is stopped after a gain of 1.
Again, RPI, they come in, they convert to first down, and then immediately Buffalo State brings everybody on the line of scrimmage to stop RPI for a minimum gain.
2nd down and 9. I think that's Munoz Watts still in the backfield for RPI. 3 wideouts and a slot back. Marinopoulos puts the ball up in the air, and that is overthrown. That's not catchable, but is this holding against Buffalo State? Flag comes out, and I think that's what they're going to say. This is not pass interference, this is holding.
So we will see what they call. You're absolutely right that the ball was uncatchable.
No, and that's what they're going to rule. The Buffalo State coaches next to us all clapping. They're going to, the question here is, did the contact occur before or after the pass? If it's before the pass, you can call holding and mark it off. If it's after the pass is thrown, it's pass interference, and if it's not catchable, you don't get it. And that's what they decided. The contact was after the ball was thrown, it's pass interference, ball wasn't catchable, no penalty. So the referee waves the flag off. It'll now be 3rd down and 9 at the 35 for RPI. Four wide receivers. Meister goes in motion towards the middle of the field. Handoff goes to Munoz Watts to the 35. Caught from behind as he got down to the 27. And I think that's Wasillo who caught him from behind.
It's going to bring up a 4th and 1 for RPI right now. So if you're the offensive line, you just got to do your job, hold your blocks, don't worry about what's going on in the backfield. If you're the center, you got to make sure the quarterback gets the ball cleanly.
Let's call this a 4th and 2 at the 28. They need to get to the 26. 4th and 2 for RPI. Three receivers left. McDonald, who's made some good catches today, alone on the right. Marinopoulos is looking over the middle. That is complete. This will be a first down for RPI. Lombardi to the 15, breaks the tackle to the 10, to the 5. Lombardi is in for the touchdown. RPI leads 27-24.
A good call by Ralph Isernier, going to your bread and butter. Marinopoulos just drops her off to Lombardi, who sort of got a pick, not an illegal pick, but he sort of got a pick by his players running downfield to try to make a block, which resulted in him being wide open and going into the end zone. 7:41 left to play in the fourth quarter. 27-24 RPI over Buffalo State.
Christian's kick is good. That makes it 28-24 with 7:41 to go. So we've got some lead changes in today's game. It's been back and forth. Nobody has ever led by more than one score.
No. You'd think coming and seeing the records, you'd think RPI would, try to put Buffalo State away with the 1-6 record overall, but Buffalo State certainly not living up to their record. They're certainly a better team than what their record shows, 1-6. Yes, RPI has made a lot of mistakes as well, which kept Buffalo State drives alive, but also Buffalo State has been doing a good job responding to those mistakes and making RPI pay for them as well. And RPI's pass defense has not been what you want it to be to win a football game. Buffalo State has been doing a great job exploiting that. So here we stand, 28-24, RPI over Buffalo State.
Buffalo State has a very tough schedule. St. John Fisher, Utica, a good team that played RPI tight. Brockport, NCAA participant last year, #1 seed in the East last year. Cortland, Ithaca. That has not been an easy schedule. Then Rochester, which they won, and Union last week that they played tough. That was a one-score game until late. This is a very difficult schedule for Buffalo State. Christian makes a short kick. Buffalo State's going to take it at the 40-yard line. And did we get a hit afterwards? I went down to look, and we've got a flag now. Was there a hit after that?
Yes, and it looks like it's going to go against RPI.
The ball was caught and covered at the 40-yard line. The person who caught it didn't signal a fair catch, but they did go to the ground. So in the college game, this is over with. I mean, the play was dead at that point. And then a flag came in late for what appears to have been a hit.
As there's a Buffalo State player shaken up.
Yes, that's why we're stalled right now.
Dylan Morissette, the sophomore from Youngstown.
Youngstown, Ohio?
Yes. Youngstown, New York, sorry.
Oh. So it's unsportsmanlike conduct after the play against RPI. That'll move Buffalo State from their own 40 to the RPI 45 to start this drive.
Again, you just got to play smarter than that. I mean, there's no reason for that. You see the guy on the ground. Yes, the whistle hasn't blown, but this isn't the pros. You can't get back up and run with the ball. There's no reason to hit him.
$7:40 to go here in Troy. 28-24, RPI leads. First and 10, Buffalo State at the RPI 45-yard line. Chesky rolls to his right. He's got Bailey blocking for him. Chesky throws through the hands of an RPI player. Flag comes out late, and the ball's incomplete.
So we'll see what the flag is for.
Hats are down because the receiver went out of bounds. So, and then the flag was out and the ball was incomplete. Another conference here in Troy. So a blindside block against Buffalo State will march them back 15 yards. So they basically just lost the 15 yards they got on the kickoff.
That was Everett. They called that on.
That is a point of emphasis this year. I think I mentioned early in the year during one game, the NCAA released a very good video of how they wanted the blindside blocks to be called. Very good examples. Kevin Beatty, the sports information director here, sent me the link, and I looked at it. I was like, wow, that was really well done. It explained everything very clearly as to how they wanted to call. It doesn't mean you're always going to see it, especially when you're up here, but it was very clear how they wanted the blindside blocks to be called this year. So this is 1st and 25 for Buffalo State back at their own 40. Chesky is under pressure, gets away from one tackler when he went right. Now he goes back and rolls left, throws the ball, and that is incomplete as he was looking for Stone, and we've got a flag on the play.
So you're probably going to get another blindside block. That's what I thought initially. We'll see. Talking to Ralph Isonier, so it's going to be good. Blindside block against Buffalo State again. So comes into play as Chesky was rolling out. There was a defender for RPI trying to chase Chesky, and someone just came up and just hit him. And he couldn't see, and that resulted in the blindside block again. So
ball goes all the way back to the 25-yard line.
In old times, we used to call that a crackback. In case you don't know what a blindside block is, if you know what a crackback is, basically the same thing.
And who's calling a timeout here? Buffalo State is going to call a timeout. 7:20 to go here in the fourth quarter. RPI 28, Buffalo State 24.
Also, I believe that's Buffalo State's second timeout.
Did they call? Yes.
I believe they called one very early in the quarter, so or very early in the half.
Good catch. I did not write that down.
So Buffalo State only has one timeout left. RPI, of course, has all three. So that could play an important part as this game goes to the wire right now within 4.
So in the battle for the Liberty League title, Union and Ithaca are at a halftime, and it's Union 17, Ithaca 14. Winner of that game goes to the NCAA tournament. Your other game today, Hobart leads St. Lawrence 35-3 late in the fourth quarter. And of course here it's 28-24 RPI, a little over halfway through this fourth quarter. Buffalo State, their own worst enemy on this drive.
So it's 1st and Hoosick Street for Buffalo State.
Yes, it's a long way. 1st and 40. If you're a Jets fan, you've seen this before. They're going to dish this one short for Bailey. 25, Bailey to the 30. Bailey is out of bounds around the 34. That was first down. Okay, let's go. That was first down again. So now it's 2nd and 31. Buffalo State just trying to dig themselves a little bit farther down the field. 4 wide receivers for Chesky. Bailey in the backfield. Chesky looks to throw, doesn't see anybody. And another flag comes out. This is going against Buffalo State. The pass is incomplete. Intended for Prawl around the 50, but this is going against Buffalo State.
Yeah, it's going to be a hold against Buffalo State.
And do you even accept this?
If I'm Ralph Isonier, I accept this one.
No.
Maybe not.
I mean, because you're going to make it's 3rd and 31 now.
Yeah, but
I mean, at this point, it's 31 yards. They're in a field position right now where they would have to punt. So you make it 3rd and 31. They've got one chance to get downfield. If you take it, it's 2nd and 41. Now you've got 2 chances to get downfield.
Yeah, and your pass defense, your pass coverage has not been what it was.
I agree with this. Decline this penalty. Just take the result of the play. 3rd and 31.
If RPI was the Giants right now, this would be a first down. This next play.
So everybody goes out, and this is going to be a short pass to the 50, and out of bounds right around the 47 was Stone. 48. They'll put him out at the 48, which still doesn't get you back to where first down was originally. It's now 4th and 13 at the 48.
So presumably the punting unit will come out.
Offense is walking off the field. Okay, the head coach for Buffalo State is extremely angry at the officials right now. Christian Ozolins is the head coach. They've got 5 seconds left on the play clock here. It does Buffalo State to get this punt away. And they're not going to. They're not going to. Flags come out. So you've got flags because Buffalo State moved and a flag because of delay of game. Which one is it? You can't have both. Either way, it's 5 yards.
Right.
So the back judge has to come in and explain what he saw. Did the play clock expire before the other penalty technically would have been called? You don't see this very often.
No.
Okay.
And it all started because the head coach for Buffalo State was irate at the officials, so instead of getting his team out on the field, he was yelling at the officials.
Yes. That delayed the punting or any decision because everybody was standing around waiting to find out what to do. That delayed the decision and they had to rush out there. So now Buffalo State's back to their own 47 for what is now 4th and 18, and they're sending Sajak out to punt. Kicks it. Lombardi tells his team to stay away from the ball. This is taking a very nice Buffalo State bounce, and so good it went into the end zone, I think. Did it? No, they're going to say it's just inside the 1. Wow, they got lucky on that.
Yeah. That was a great bounce.
Yes. That bounced very well for Buffalo State, but if I'm the special teams coach, I'm going to tell the guys, look, I like it. You got it if it's inside the 1. Just, make sure within the 5 is fine. You don't have to cut it that close because if you don't get it, it goes to the 20. So I'd rather have you stop it at the 2 or the 3 than have it come out to the 20 by accident. All right, so RPI is back within their own 1 to start out this drive. 5:34 to go in the game. RPI leading 28-24. First down for the Engineers. Handoff in the end zone, and this is going to be a safety. Buffalo State picks up 2. RPI could not get it out of the end zone. And Scaglione is stopped behind the line of scrimmage, and it's now RPI 28, Buffalo State 26.
Why? I mean, I understand shotgun is your offense, but when you're that close, you just put Marinopoulos under center and you just sneak them up the middle.
Or if you don't like that, put Michelin under center.
And sneak them up the middle.
And yes, and try to get some yards there.
Because now when you're in shotgun, you're already 5 yards deep into the end zone. And, Scaglione trying to go up the middle, Buffalo State just stacks their defense into the linebackers right up the middle, puts everybody on the line of scrimmage. Now you can't go anywhere. Now you have 7 guys trying to block 10, and that's never going to work. So RPI never should have been in shotgun in that position. They should have had, like you said, Michelin or maybe Marinopoulos just under center and just getting as many yards as you can to get out of that shadow. So not a good play call by the coaching staff for RPI now.
So it's 28-26 now for RPI, and RPI gets the oddly named free kick. I always wondered, you get a free kick after you give up a safety. We freely get to kick the ball away. I always found it was odd to call it a free kick. But that's what it is. They get to kick from the 20. You have the option of kicking. You could punt it or place kick it here, and RPI is going to have Christian come out to do a place kick.
That's probably why they call it a free kick, because you have the option to do either.
It's still oddly named. I'm sorry, it's just an oddly.
It's like the penalty shot in hockey. The penalty still gets called if you don't make the shot, you don't make the goal. So
fair catch signaled by Buffalo State. That was Jackson. I think he might be confused as well why he called a fair catch there. I think he's angry at himself.
Yes.
Did he? I don't know what the plan was there because he had about 10 yards to go.
Yes.
And even if he wants to catch it, run a little bit and fall down, he's still better off than a fair catch. I'm confused by that. But Buffalo State will now have it. Where are they going to be? They're going to be at their own 27.
So 5:27 left to play. 28-26. RPI leads Buffalo State after the Buffalo State safety on a good punt by Sajak.
First and 10 at 27 for Buffalo State. Chesky with time. Throw short. That's the 30-yard line. And Bailey, too much dancing around, ends up getting maybe another yard or two.
And it just seems like RPI is happy to give Buffalo State the short passes just to make sure they don't get burned deep this late in the game and down by 2 points.
Second and 5 at the 32. Chesky, bad throw. Bad throw. He had Everett open and missed through that one.
Yeah, little throw behind Everett, and Everett was open. He could have got some yardage after the play too. If it was a better throw, but RPI getting lucky brings up a 3rd and 5.
Hobart defeated St. Lawrence 35-3 in today's action. So a 3rd and 5 now for Buffalo State. Chesky has to roll left, throws short, and that's incomplete. Ball hit the ground, incomplete. And it'll be 4th down, and you've got to be thinking with 4:41, Buffalo State's going to be punting at their own 32.
Yes, I agree with that. If I was RPI, don't bother rushing anybody. Let them get this kick off to play against the fake that we saw when Buffalo State opened the quarter.
So the punt team is out there. That is Sajak. Lombardi is back at his own 30, awaiting this kick. Sajak gets the snap, kicks it away. Short kick, Lombardi signals for a fair catch, and he has it at the 37. 4:36 left to go in today's game. RPI 28, Buffalo State 26.
If I'm RPI now, nothing fancy. I would just, try to waste as much time as you can. Buffalo State only has 1 timeout left. You're up by 2. You have the ball. So nothing fancy. Those short passes have been working for you. So, go short, get the first down, do the runs, do whatever you need to do. Just hold on to the ball and try to put this game away. Couple of first downs.
First and 10 at the 37, for RPI. Nope, they won't go to the ground. They'll go to the air. That's Lombardi on the reception. Lombardi gets a first down. He gets to the 49-yard line.
Okay, good job. Good play call. Good job by Marinopoulos and Lombardi. Now, if I'm RPI, I'm not getting the play in until about 5 seconds to go. 8 seconds to go on the play clock. And then taking my time to snap it, wasting as much time as I can.
RPI just milling about as we're going to hit the 4-minute mark left to go in the 4th quarter. Play clock's down to 5. They'll snap the ball. Michelin takes a direct snap, goes towards the sideline. Michelin 50, 40, and out of bounds near the marker. They'll put him right at the marker, the 41. That should be a first down. It is for RPI.
Michelin getting the first down. Couple more of those runs. Do it.
Three and a half minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. RPI moving their formation around. Michelin is still in there. take this snap. He's going to run straight ahead, finds a hole. Michelin keeps on his feet, and he gets down to the 34-yard line.
Yep, and if I'm Buffalo State right now, I'm putting everybody up on the line of scrimmage.
Marinopoulos was on the field as a wideout. So the game plan here is you keep Marinopoulos out there, and the defense has to wait and see how RPI lines up, and it's too late to substitute at that point. And we just saw it again. Marinopoulos was in the quarterback position, and now they shift, and now Michelin goes into that position, and Marinopoulos is a wideout. Flag on the play, and RPI is going to get called. This is a procedure call against RPI. 28-26, RPI leads, 2:37 to go in the fourth quarter.
So second down and 8 now for RPI.
Clock is running, 2.5 to go. As RPI is holding on to a 2-point lead. Buffalo State with 1 timeout left. Lombardi goes in motion. Handoff. This is down to the 33-yard line. That is Scaglione on the carry for RPI, down to the 33-32, right around there. They need to get to the 31 for a first down. It will be third and a little over 1 for RPI. Under 2 to go, fourth quarter. RPI 28, Buffalo State 26.
Well, now if I'm Buffalo State, I desperately need to stop RPI right now.
They have 1 timeout, have not used it. They basically need to stop and then call the timeout here.
Yes,
that's what the timeout's they're waiting for.
But if you don't stop them, it's moot anyway.
Yeah, if there's no stop here, the game is over. So third down, direct snap to Michelin. Michelin straight ahead, and he's got the first down. Falls over the 30 into the 29. The clock will stop on the movement of change. 1:21 to go in the game, and now the clock will start. Buffalo State with the 1 timeout still can't stop RPI as long as RPI doesn't do anything bad here.
And if I'm RPI, I'm just taking a knee and just letting Buffalo State burn that last timeout.
Even if they may not even call it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's first down.
That's true.
If they call a timeout, RPI still has enough downs just to kill it by taking a knee.
That's true.
So Michelin is your offensive safety basically in this position. Marinopoulos under center to take the snap. He takes the knee. With 44 seconds to go, there may be 1 additional snap. No, yes, they'll have to snap it 1 more time. There's a 1-second discrepancy on the clock. So RPI will have to do 1 more snap here, but they're going to come out of the East Campus Stadium with a 28-26 victory today. And that's the knee right there. RPI doesn't have to snap the ball again. Buffalo State will not take that timeout, and it'll be a final here in about 15 seconds. RPI with a 28-26 victory.
And it was not an easy victory by any means. I mean, yeah, you won by 2. And fortunately for RPI, that safety didn't come back to hurt you. But it wasn't a clean win by any means. RPI, they have to shore up their pass defense. They have to play smarter. They have to realize when the guy's out of bounds, don't hit him. Or when the whistle blows, don't bring the guy to the ground. You don't always need to bring the guy to the ground. Forward progress is stopped right where it is. So if you're RPI, you got to play smarter than that, and you got to show up your pass defense. I mean, your run defense was pretty good today. Yes, you gave up some big yardage, but that was due to missed tackling. So you got to tackle better. So yes, RPI won by 2, but by no means was this a pretty win for RPI. I mean, they they overcame a lot. I mean, and that's what good teams do. They overcome stuff like that, but good teams also don't put themselves in position for that.
Well, they are picking up a not pretty win after 2 not pretty losses. I'm not sure if there is a pretty loss, but The last two games for them certainly were not when they were behind heavily going into the fourth quarter. They made the score look better, but you can't be behind heavily going in the fourth quarter. You just can't be in that position. They weren't in that position today. This was never more than a one-score game either way. So they did what they had to do, but again, some of the things that may have killed them against a better team didn't kill them today because Buffalo State isn't as good as Hobart.
Right. And not to say that Buffalo State's not a good team because...
Well, Buffalo State could have won today.
They could have won today, right.
They certainly could have won today. But they themselves also made mistakes.
Right.
That cost them. The fake punt works, and then they squandered that.
Right.
They took two very bad penalties to move them back 30 yards. That's on them. You know, those were bad mistakes as well. RPI took some bad mistakes. RPI took bad mistakes last week. And RPI took bad mistakes against Hobart. You can't take bad mistakes and be in a position to win most of the time. And both of these teams today, this was not a pretty game.
No.
This was not a very pretty game here today. There was a lot of scoring. It was back and forth. It was exciting. It was interesting. But it wasn't a smoothly played game by either side. And Buffalo, again, RPI wins 28-26, but Buffalo State could have won this game. This is a winnable game for them.
This was indeed a winnable game for them. And as you mentioned, come out fake punt stole all the momentum from RPI coming out into the fourth quarter. And then, you have two penalties for a blindside block. I mean, if you can't see the guy's eye, I always tell my kids when I coach, if you can't see the guy's eyes, don't hit him. There's no reason to do that. And conversely, if the play is on the far side of the field and you're on the near side of the field, there's no reason to block the guy anyway because he's not making the play. And these are the basics. I mean, presumably these guys have been playing football their whole lives. They should know that. That's not coaching. That's just football instinct at that point. And there was a few players down there that lost that football instinct today for a few plays, and it almost came back to bite RPI. But it didn't. And if you're Coach Isernia, you're certainly telling your boys, like, hey guys, you got to play smarter than that. It didn't hurt you today, but next week against Ithaca, it will. 2 weeks against Union, it will.
Yes.
There's no it might. It will.
Yes.
So you got to shore that up between Ithaca and Union. Otherwise, those are going to be another long games.
Yes. Time to run down the scoring in today's game. It was an interesting one. RPI got on the scoreboard first. 9:13 to go in that first quarter. Lombardi with a 48-yard run. Christian's kick made it 7-0 in favor of RPI. Stewart came out for Buffalo State, caught a 57-yard pass from Bailey, not Chesky, the quarterback. Bailey, Carr's kick, that was a 6:30-71 in the first quarter, tied it at 7. And so the teams were tied at 7 after one quarter. Second quarter, Buffalo State took the lead. Bailey with a 5-yard run. Carr's kick with 13:56 to go in the half made it 14-7 in favor of Buffalo State. But then Meissen with a 9-yard run and Christian's kick with 4:57 to go in the second quarter tied it at 14, and that was the score at the half, 14-all. Third quarter, Buffalo State took a lead. Carr with a 32-yard field goal with 9:02 to go in the quarter made it 17-14 Buffalo State. RPI answered back. Scaglione with a 40-yard run and Christian's kick with 8:25 to go in the third quarter put RPI on top 21-17. And then 5:31 to go in the third quarter, Everett caught a 3-yard pass from Chesky. Carr's kick made it 24-21 Buffalo State. That would be the last lead for Buffalo State because with 7:41 left to go in the game, Marinopolis hit Lombardi on a 28-yard pass and Christian's kick made it 28-24 RPI. That was the final RPI score. The last score of the game was the safety. Buffalo State down to punt inside the 1. On the next play, RPI tackled in the end zone. That was Scaglione tackled in the end zone, -1 yardage in terms of the stats there. But that's a safety, and it was 28-26 in favor of RPI, and that's the way it would end today. RPI 28, Buffalo State 26. RPI improves to 5-3 overall. They are 2-2 in the conference. They have guaranteed they will end the regular season with at least a 500 record. They can't have a losing record at the end of the season. For Buffalo State, they fall to 1-7 on the year. They are 1-3 in the conference. For RPI, they are home against Ithaca next Saturday at noon here at the East Campus Stadium. They are getting either the Liberty League champions this year or the team that is fighting for an NCAA playoff bid because they are not the Liberty League champions. So they're getting one of those two teams. We still don't know which team it is. It's at halftime in Ithaca. It's Union 17, Ithaca 14.
And then the next week they get the other one.
Yes, they get the other one after that. So if next week they get the Liberty League champion, then they get the team fighting for their playoff lives. If next week it's the team fighting for the playoff lives, after that they get the Liberty League champion. So that's what RPI has down the road. For Buffalo State, they've got a 6 o'clock game next weekend against Hobart. That is their next action. That'll be Buffalo State at Hobart, 6 o'clock next Saturday. So, engineers of the game.
Offensively, I'm going to give it to, I think I'm going to give it to Joe Scaglione. He had a few good runs that resulted in touchdowns and set up a touchdown. Not to say, everybody played well offensively, but Joe Scaglione did a good job. He had a 40-yard run in the third quarter there to give RPI the 21-17 lead. After that, and then they had a run earlier to set up a touchdown as well. And then defensively, I think I'm going to give it to John Sadak. I mean, he had 7 tackles today. He did a good job staying home and covering his man what he had to do. RPI's pass coverage, again, something to be desired, but Sadak was there to make the tackles when he needed to. So Sadak and Scaglione, the engineers of the game, we'd like to thank Hader back at the studio for getting us on the air and make sure we stayed there.
Just want to update you the scores. Hobart defeated St. Lawrence 35-3, and RPI here beating Buffalo State 28-26. That puts RPI and Hobart tied for third place in the league at 2-2. Elsewhere, St. Lawrence and Buffalo State are now tied for 5th in the league at 1-3. Rochester's bringing up the rear at 0-4, and that Ithaca Union game has not gone to... Oh, they're in the third quarter. They're actually in the third quarter. We got an update. It's still 17-14 Union in the third quarter, so we're not going to get you a final on that before we leave.
So as I was saying, we'd like to thank Hader back at the studio for getting us on the air and making sure we stay there. We'd also like to thank the Rensselaer Union, which provides the funding for WRPI and all club-related activities, including RPI's coverage of men's and women's ice hockey, football, and baseball later on in the year. And we'd also like to thank you for listening on the World Wide Web. Point your browser to www.wrpi.org, and you can hear our broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So long as we are broadcasting, we will provide the broadcast on the internet feed. Once again, it is www.wrpi.org. Also, if you are a student listening and you want to try your hand at broadcasting games, either football, hockey, baseball, or whatever sport you want to try, just let us know. Shoot us an email at wrpi-sports@rpi.edu. And we will do our best to accommodate you. There are plenty of opportunities this season to get on the air for men's and women's ice hockey as well as baseball later on in the spring. So once again, that is wrpi-sports@rpi.edu. If you want to try your hand, it's very fun, but it's also very time-consuming as well. So just keep that in mind. So that will do it for us for ECAV. The next RPI football game we will bring you is next week as they play Ithaca here at noon. So for Ed DeGarry and for Kurt Stutt.
Do you know who you are?
These days, not really. For Kurt Stutt, I'm Ed DeGarry, and the final score here from the East Campus Athletic Stadium is RPI 28, Buffalo State 26. You've been listening to live coverage of Engineer Football on 91.5 FM, WRPI, Troy.
to get in